Hops moving very far out. Might actually clash with Alter Ego there. As we hop on board now with DRX, again, they played from Neox Factory, winning the fight with APG. Now they turn their attention to Thunder Talk.
DRX, rough start for them over at pMGC. Looked very passive. And then we got a whole new side. Very much two-faced this team, where it's immediately came out swinging. Very aggressive in their group. And definitely dominated that lobby. See what DRX can get done here, because it will be nice for D+ to have a brother on the stage here at pMGC who can go toe-to-toe with them. D+ really has been that one South Korean team that you could rely on to do well on these global stages.
Oh.
Top is down, though.
And in the second fight for APG, they also take a dip early. Regnum Kaya picking that point up. Look, I'm not calling it this early, but this is not a good start for APG. We were asking, what APG are we getting today? For now, the answer is one that has stalled at the start. Hopefully they can make up ground in the rest of the match, because those recalls still very much possible as teams start to move on in. I was trying to keep track of the final player from Team Flashblank, but they went all the way up north, and I've lost track of them entirely. They're somewhere off in the far reaches of North Rondo, but the circle decides to go all the way away from them. We're heading back down south, so it will not be a Neox Factory finish.
We are denied that, sadly. But I do think for the guys over on D+, do need to make a bit of a rotate now, get themselves to a slightly better position on the map. They are rotating through over on that northeast side. R8 started out their game pretty well here at 3 elims. Now, going back to your point about APG, let's leave it.
Okay.
Let's leave it.
Fair enough.
You know, it's a worry in the back of my mind. It's the start of the day. I'll give it a couple of matches, right? Match 3, maybe we'll make a different call, especially here in this 3-day sprint. Can't waste any time here. Teams will get ahead, but it is interesting seeing this lobby, right? Way less eliminations across the board, because these fights take a long time to conclude, because you're going up against the best of the best, right? And they are not going to give you free wins. They are not going to give you free team fights. It takes time.
We're at 21 elims right now in the game. Let's see if we can rack up a couple more, because Krafton hops out. The spray downs from Alva on the back line, though. An Alter Ego roll in successfully. Eren has to duck down behind as he can't connect the spray downs. Krafton not really in too much danger from the nades. The high ground from Goat as well makes Eren's life so tough, and that is going to be a back of Scarface. Likely to get flushed away, and we're now at the tipping point in this match blank. Teams are going to start to have no real accessibility to these recall beacons, so for Alf, this is a bad omen for their game. For this one, it's not looking super hot, as AE in the meantime, Alter Ego, racking up 4 elims. They don't take a casualty. It's much better on that front.
I mean, for Alf, there is one final option left, and that is to swing far down towards the south side, John. There is still a recon beacon.
चलो देखते हैं भाई इस बार कौन आगे
It
बढ़ता है.
is a long ramp they need to make on the western side, and you've got to go through teams like Alpha Gaming, Mad Bulls. It's tough. It's real tough.
I think, yeah, Solus has actually broken out all the way northwest, very far. Maybe not even joined in with the rest of the roster, in fact. We'll see how they can make it in. Looking more towards the roadside, that is going to be a little name from Amori. He steps on a landmine, blasted sky high. Amori now with a challenge over towards Flip. Not bothered about Tulika, not bothered about getting that flush, but it's DXavier to chime in on this central location. They have got the angles, and the need to steal the flush back into the grasp, into the pocket of R8, and they still want to maintain that top spot. Pusher playing on the back lines now. Doesn't really have too many players to play around with him. But APG are taking shots. You've got Mad Bulls starting to fall, with Vampire moving in on the south, with DXavier in a really important 2-2 split to their east. For Mad Bulls, they are not getting out of this one.
Yeah, they're locked in. I think for Mad Bulls, this is going to be a pretty slow start for their day, honestly. I think it's very hard to remove yourself from the scenario. Once all the dust settles, it's likely Pusher goes down, but he might take himself up some points before he finally hits the deck, right? Just because it's likely he's going to be leaving this one.
I thought R8 had that completely under control, but then there was a cheeky little off-angle knock coming through over to one of the R8 players, and then a nade coming through from Pusher. He gets the flush. Alpha 7 now starting to sweep in through behind APG, not crashing fully, but it's certainly a threat. You don't want to let teams in that easily. APG now have to turn their attention. Maybe a chance to move this one back in. It's unfortunate for R8 Blank that they've lost 2 here. They could potentially still just about swing out southeast to try and get a recall if they want to invest that time. But there's so many teams that are going to be crunching in. I don't know how possible that's going to be.
You know, I mean, playing off towards the eastern side of this circle, it wasn't likely there was going to be many teams playing here, to be honest with you, with the terrain that was in play. So I think for R8, their problem there was taking a fight in such an open area, right? That was their big issue. There was so many sight lines coming down on this western edge. Alpha 7 makes the correct play. They swing straight past. Alpha Gaming can't really afford to turn around at this point while there's still players right in front of them. So the leapfrog is fantastic from Alpha 7. Gets them ahead in the circle, gives them a really good point to actually hold out separate teams.
I'm very, very curious as to the thinking behind Lemon's play here. I didn't even realize there was another Mad Bull in this one, Blank. But he stepped up into the fight, and he's immediately gone down. There was an open recall beacon all the way to the southwest that he could have got the rest of the Mad Bulls back up. Oh, okay, they have managed to get everyone else back up as well. Okay, that makes way more sense. Hang on a minute. Need to keep track of these players a little bit better, because Tulika needs to keep track of himself, maybe. That's Prestige able to spray him down. All right, happy. Another bouncer off the log pile. This is a little special trick shot, it seems, for Amori as he pops another one in.
एक को बचाने आए पुशर को अपने 2 प्लेयर गवा दिए. गया.
And it's easy enough to do. Amori with the double, and now it's just down to Pusher again. So way back to where we started just a couple minutes ago. For some reason, Mad Bulls decided they were going to offer even more points through to R8, and R8 is only happy to oblige.
Hey, 8 in the name, 8 on the points right now. Great kickoff. But APG decide, you know what, enough is enough. We just want to get ready. We don't want this threat on the off angle. Pusher is still very much the last player alive for Mad Bulls, but could have an impact on this fight. So could Alpha 7 and the Outpost on the south side. Lazarus for Vampire. Doc trying to move in on the sidelines. We'll see if those third parties come into effect. The next circle's just about to pop as well. Tension on the western front. DXavier with the angles. Oh, Reefus. Oh, Reefus nates himself. But Prestige does go down. Top able to find that shutdown. Now just the one player for the 2 teams looking to hold. Amori on the corner.
Pusher देखो side से लेने
चाह रहा है. The best player on the roster. We'll see if he can live up to that tally. Pusher landing nades to the back line. Doc not stepping in just yet. Top now healed up, looking to move on through. The res is coming on in. Amori backs off, plays towards the shelves, plays towards the back of the warehouse here. A nade to thread on through. Maybe land at the feet. Steps to the open door. Wants the challenge. Calls him out, but backs back off immediately. He's given them the runaround. Has he been able to find it? Has he been able to hold the hold? No. Will fall down, and R8 are the first team to go out completely here, Blank.
R8 leave, but they get quite a few points for the back of that as well. Now Pusher does live slightly longer than them. They are the first team to fall here over on Rondo, down to 15 teams remaining at the moment.
Pusher का भी काम होने वाला है.
Anymore with Alter Ego from the distance. Pusher though, can't imagine he's going to be up for too long. But I've been saying that for quite a while. And he gets the first, and he gets the second.
Oh, he's looking for Flusher 2. Pusher on the door frame, but a sliver of HP now, and it is going to be APG bearing down upon him. One shot would do it, though. There's damage. Oh, Pusher with 3 against APG. They cannot get in. The door is closed. And the clutch here for Pusher onto Skull. Low HP, but the nade's cooking already. He gets the heal up the nade through, but it's off target. Looking for more healing. Has no idea what has happened.
Pusher almost with the 1v4 right now. Zyol's cooking the nade up the distance. Pusher drops the flashbang in hand, drop that stun grenade out, blind his target, and then he's swinging around the side here, John.
Oh, is he giving them the slip? No, Zyol knows. He's already sprayed. The nade on the inside doesn't connect. Pusher has to hop back in now. Zyol wants the challenge on the inside, on the corpses of his teammates.
उसका confidence बढ़ा हुआ है.
Now still in the chamber for Pusher, on the corner of the door frame. And Zyol APG.
बच गया भाई ये.
Fumbled. Blank. Which team have we got today? Answer me.
We're not stopping now. Almost a historic humiliation there for APG.
APG ने 3 player उड़ा दिए अपने.
Yeah, I mean, you got to grab that ball by the horns if you want to take it down. And APG was so hesitant with the way they played it. May as well have whipped out the old red flag there. Because they invited that ball to charge.
Goat कहाँ चढ़ा बैठा?
Go right now with Killer Joe up on high. Very nice position for him, but I think I'm more looking over towards Regnum Kaya. They did get the circle shifting away from
Regnum Kaya. DK भी eliminate हो गई.
From that that position. But yeah, the circle shifted back over towards Regnum Kai. They had a very
तो
nice
इस मैच में
second
वही
position
लगे हैं
around
कारा
about
और
10
टीटी
minutes ago. Since then, they've had to move slightly down, but the circle moving northeast does give them another chance into this match.
We're aboard with Alter Ego now, very close to
Good,
Vampire.
Maddie.
A team they haven't come into conflict with for a little bit, Blank. They've been a little while, but
ठानी क्या है
we'll be all too willing to embrace them in this fight. Rocking up on the western side.
Vampire
They need to hold their
Esports.
ground here. Goat team sit above them as well. That high ground, very, very dominant over this sort of area. You can see Killer Joe just up there on the peak. He's looking for Alter
अरे
Ego.
बहुत
He's
सही
playing in the foothills. No one's
डाल
taking
डाल
shots
आग
in
डाल
just yet.
बम
Doesn't
डाल
have the backup on this side from the rest of the
उसको
roster,
डाल
which is why he can be so pulled with these peaks, because you just can't do this.
I mean, it's such a funny position to see all these players in.
Ooh.
Dropping the old emergency flares on the head as well. Love to see it. Sakura back in the picture. Usually we like to see Sakura up on these pillars, but this time around he's taking the fight over towards Kara. Rosemary hits the deck and Killer's happy to pick up that first elim for himself. And a real troublesome target at the top of this hilltop, if you can call it that.
किलर छोड़
Yeah, absolutely. Recall beacons shut off now, Blank. No recalls possible. So for Goat team, these elims do stick. Alter Ego now back really very
बहुत
much into
ज़्यादा
a
दूर
corner
डाल
here.
रहे हैं ये लोग
Goat team crunching in from the north side.
पास में डालो
Fire
पास में
swelling around the foothills here.
फ्री में फाइनल में आ गए
For Alter Ego, 2 players remaining. Picture in picture, Scrap, Regnum Kaya having a real
बहुत
time.
सही
Alva, ooh, with the dice roll, nearly landing onto his head, but does manage to just about stay safe for a moment longer. Loxy for Regnum Kaya, and our picture in picture stays tall.
बहुत सही
But a big nade comes through,
बहुत
Vampire charge
सही
in, and it's a 1-2 punch. Good night.
Double nades across the sky there for both teams. Loxy does it again for Regnum
Loxy,
Kaya.
Silas.
Comes through in those critical moments for the squad. Silas getting smoked out here. We'll try and pick him up, but it is sighting from Thunder Talk. The sitter himself. Because you better sit down if you're in the presence of this guy. What a crazy player he is.
Arena.
नहीं
Looking to
वाह
hold this out. Well, more than hold, they want to push forwards on the southeast edge, but there are plenty of teams trying to stop that right now.
Chinese.
Kara a little bit in the way. Less so with the knock to the
Chinese.
south player here, CEO. Alpha 7, though, on the western side. Really difficult to get past on this ridge. Don't know how the Arena are going to be able to find their way through. They do need an opener. And the CEO, Elin, goes to Alpha 7. A lot of the teams who got stuck in early, Blank, are down. We look at Regnum Kaya and Alpha 7, very much the teams now who remain with those slightly higher elim counts.
एपीजी चोक कर गई
Definitely looking now for that chicken dinner, right? If you're DX Xavier, you've played the long game here. You are wanting a top 5 off the back of this game, and I think it's very likely that DX Xavier is able to make that happen. E-Arena as well has been fairly good on Rondo. They really do know their angles very well here. They know their terrain. Good shot up towards Ching there from Wild, from Regnum Kaya. Will keep Thunder Talk at bay, but they will have to push through them soon.
South side, Alpha 7 fanning out. Lots of ground covered by them right now. But it's that western peak that is going to be, it's almost a vortex that's keeping these teams
बहुत बढ़िया खेल रहे हैं
on the western edge. And I think Goat team have the most flexibility right now to try and break that vortex. But we'll see if they're able to do so, or if teams are going to extract value from them. Poser very much in danger right now. E-Arena are
पोजर गया बस और क्या
slow, carefully, but it should work out. The nade posted in through the window. It's going to force him out of position. It should force him out of position. As Poser steps out wide, the nade still on the inside, but he dodges that somehow. Goes down either way. Was that shutdown came from Paragin? I'm not entirely sure where that one came from, but the point goes to Paragin either way. And E-Arena lose a player, Joker, needing a res now. And if DX Xavier weren't going to get a top 5 before, they definitely are going to get it now.
Yeah, I think with DX Xavier, that's a
ओह
great bit
DRX
of
भी अभी
awareness around the map. Get the little knock,
लाइव
the
है
flush through, going down towards that southeast side. As much as they can damage these teams on the southeast side, the easier it gets, because it's going to be a long while before they have to turn their attention to this pillar over on the western side. So the east to them is the most important at the moment, which is why you're seeing DX Xavier make those flexes a little bit. Getting Killer Joe from down here probably has a vehicle up top that he can just send down, but yeah, for Tony K, this is an aggressive push and one that should be punished soon.
He's only got 9 ammo though. He's waiting. He can't take the spray.
I see.
This is the big issue. It's great to see teams or players start to take damage. Yeah, he has to change it out. Doesn't have any nades. Doesn't really have anything. Okay, that is hopeful, mate. Come on, pull the other one. Okay, down you come. Time for you to get back with the rest of your team.
Nice.
Meanwhile, oh, a nade from Regnum Kaya. They're down
Oh,
to 2 players.
that
Blank.
That
They
looks
have
good.
Taken another one. The bounce not quite reaching the full distance. Oh dear, Regnum Kaya getting lit up though, and it is going to be Thunder Talk. Taking the shots is just
Easy,
wildly
easy,
left
easy,
now.
easy, easy.
5
Gaya,
teams
gaya,
rank on
gaya.
this
Bach
match already. And Regnum Kaya up to 8 with 10 teams remaining though. The placement points aren't here yet.
किंग भी आ गया, उसे लेके जा रहा है, बहुत बढ़िया.
Slither on out of there.
ये होता है.
Vampire is down to DRX. No less.
DRX भी
Do you
आगे
think
चल रहा है.
for looking at towards that side of the map there, John, I really like the way Thunder Talk played that one now. I mean, setting up AJ as that outpost on the outside gave them all the information that they'd ever need while still having a foot in the door of the circle. So any moment, Sighting could turn around, and then they send King in as a taxi driver. Just about makes it in, but Lazarus does not have a revival that he was looking for there.
Not quite, not quite. The water's a little bit too toasty, burning away that health bar. Goat team now on that northwestern side. Regnum Kaya also will take the knee.
गोटी है.
For me, I mean, it's a 3-way fight at this
Alpha
point.
7.
In my mind, maybe 4. We'll see who wins that western side. But Alpha 7, E-Arena, DXavier. These are the teams I'm looking at. Central, fairly controlling positions right now. I think Team Flash on the east side is going to have a real tough time. I think Thunder Talker may be going to have an even tougher time with a lineup that exists with E-Arena on the lookout.
I think E-Arena is struggling, to be quite frank with you.
You think?
Yeah, their escape from this location is not easy. It's very open. They can't really peek anything too much at the moment either.
यहाँ पे
This
एक मैच
spot
में
right
और
now
फाइट
for
हुई
Thunder
थी
Talk
सेम
is looking
लोकेशन
lovely.
पे.
I mean, they've covered off really the only difficult angle for themselves on this left-hand side of your screen. Obviously, they want to get further in. DXavier is the prime suspect for a chicken dinner here.
सही कह रहा है.
Absolutely.
A7 या
Money's on that.
DRX.
And let's see if someone can change the fates. Team Flash, the rookies, the new bloods. They have made a name for themselves already. I mean, they were saying on the desk, oh, if they win, they'll be rookie team of the year. They're already rookie team of the year.
No, I think that's what Max was saying, that they are the rookie team of the year right now for him.
Maybe rookie team of all time if they're able to get the pMGC title.
Yeah, if they're able to do that, I think that'd be a very, very tough target to beat.
I mean, how can you do better than that?
Yeah.
That's going to help E-Arena, though. That shift.
That will help E-Arena. I mean, it's the removal of themselves from that location, which is hard, but luckily the circle coming down to them does keep them safe for a little bit longer, so now teams will have to venture into the E-Arena jungle slightly sooner than they might have liked.
Ooh. Go team trying to take shots. DRX giving it back. Spinning them around. Trying to force them away. QXC putting pressure uphill. Killer Joe gets the deal off. Looking to tick up those meds. Bucky's down and out now. Needs the backup of his team. Needs the cover there. Maybe invest a smoke or two, but he's knocked, flushed. And Goat Team, do you really want to re-engage this now? I don't think so. They are going to fall back. Give ground, and DRX now have the numbers advantage, but neither team is in, and now the zone starts to close. Where do you go? Because DXavier holds such a great position. Oh, Thunder Talk. They're going for the rollout. A 1-forward on the trade. Hold down behind. The dugouts here. And Team Flash trying to hold their nerve just cannot do it. In the face of the PEL. They are swept aside.
That is such a classic Thunder Talk thing to do. They play the game so methodically, and then all of a sudden they're ready just to rush you. And they absolutely will go for it. Insane stuff. Kraken still alive. The goat tails were turned and they ran.
But now DXavier maybe a little bit of a threat sent towards their way. Kraken has a little bit of time still up at the high ground, but no, we see he's going out to the blue. Tried to deny, not to be. E-Arena want that point, mate. That's going on their tallies. Goodness me. We're divvying up a lot of points here, Blank. No one on.
But
still, kick off pMGC would be tasty. And Alpha 7, they want to make it happen.
There's going to be some big profiteers, though, either way, off this game. Start off with 8 elims right now for Alpha 7. Looking to return to become that fearsome team that demands respect
कुछ ही सेकंड में
from
फैसला
the
हो
rest of the lobby.
1 मिनट के अंदर में.
I think Guizhou has been a wonderful addition to the squad.
Wow.
Really has had his big moments. Undoubtedly, you know, even if they win, he's probably going to be leaving the team after this, which will make me sad, but it will not make me surprised.
7 का तो हाल खराब हो रखा है.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to
अंदर
wait
में
and see.
I'm
DX
doing reverse psychology right now.
Yeah, okay, absolutely. Yeah. They're never going to stick together, guys.
और height
No, can't
7 के
happen.
पास में है.
But right now, they definitely need to stick together as best they can. For Alpha 7, this next push is do or die at top 3 on this fight. They've already had a good game, though. Every single team now has had a good game,
Chilla
except
bhai.
for DX Xavier on the points tally.
Would you call it do or die?
In terms of getting this game, I mean, not for their tournament. Not for their tournament, mate.
Yeah.
This
Question
game,
for
come
Malim.
on.
Look, man, if they do it, they do it. If they die, they die.
और जी टीम ग्रुप स्टेज में बर्बाद हुई थी इसी लोकेशन पे सेम जगह पे.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, John.
I will
Let's
say
see how DX Xavier handle this, though, because it's a fight on two fronts. And I think that's hard. But any fight that DX Xavier takes, the other team's going to try and take advantage. This is always the difficulty when you are the central team and it's a little bit open, is that you are always going to incur the wrath of the third party. So DX Xavier needs to hit a 1-2 punch, but in both directions, they need to hit the 180 on both these squads.
12
For 7, though, very
Gyara.
lacking on utility there, Blank. They may have some smoke launchers, so maybe a little bit more smoke in the back pocket. But DX Xavier have got quite a lot of utility themselves. It's going to be difficult to roll up on.
DX की लोकेशन बहुत गंदी है.
Punch, but E-Arena are going to be funneled towards them. There's not too many approach routes that they can take, but Alpha 7 won't just immediately shred through them, which is going to force DX Xavier to play a fully linear fight. Sure, they'll be in the middle of the line, but as soon as E-Arena have to shift over to that north side, I think that's going to line them up.
ये अरीना तो ऐसे जाने तो नहीं देगी.
29 minutes we're coming up on right now. Very long game here.
चलो
for
भाई
Rondo as
शुरू हो
well.
गए.
Right off the wire, and again, to be honest with you, we always say this is a bit of a springboard, a bit of a trampoline. That first game of the day on Rondo, get packing quite a few points into your backpack. So getting that done early is lovely. 10 nades right now for E-Arena. When are we going to start throwing them?
I think they're waiting for Alpha 7 to move. They're laying up the smoke. They don't want to break north. They're going west instead. But immediately, I mean, that's what I was so worried about. They tried to get the smoke cover there, but it's just not going to happen. Immediately by Alpha 7. Alpha 7 may choose this to be go time because they know they've done damage. They know they've slowed the Arena's roll. They want to have the sightlines. Rebel looks for the pickup. That could have been the opener. That would have definitely sent them down the hill. But Alpha 7 going to have to play a little bit slower. Xavier nades up top. Oh, so close. Not quite going the distance, though, and Alpha 7 stay as 4.
Honestly, at the moment, E-Arena needs to start taking knocks and flushes. At the moment, they aren't able to get their players back up again. For DX Xavier, that's bad news. Mafioso going down is lovely. Stealed away by Paragin, though, by no less.
Well, they do need points. They'll try and take them. 2 players now remaining for E-Arena in the nade uphill from DX Xavier. Carrillo and Revo now, the last 2 players, are going to be standing up top, but Alpha 7 go down to a volley of fire. And DX Xavier stand tall. They will survive in the middle. Carrillo the last to go, and the bullets are whizzing over his head. Levi's now spreads on out. E-Arena are not done just yet. Tourniquet still behind. Could cause problems, but with 4 players alive on the DX Xavier roster. Alpha 7 fall. E-Arena on their knees. DX Xavier. They kick it off with our first chicken dinner.
Spider Bite at the beginning of the game here, at the beginning of the
चलो
tournament.
टूर्नामेंट का
Incredible stuff
पहला
from
मैच
DX Xavier.
ग्रैंड फाइनल
Again,
का.
a team that's very controlling when it comes through to
DX
those late games. A really outstanding performance. Again, I do think that E-Arena makes a slight mistake there, is that what they should have done is started throwing nades over towards DX Xavier. You got to hope for that initial knock, for then Alpha 7 to try and get some presence in there. I think for them to try and wrap on Alpha 7 was really over-aggressive. I'm not really sure, honestly. I don't think that was the right play, though.
अभी इस टूर्नामेंट में जितनी भी टीमें हैं सारी बढ़िया और बेहतरीन टीमें हैं और देखो कौन जीतता है. अगला मैच होगा काफी टाइम बाद करीब.
I'll tell you what was the right play. DX Xavier having a really strong spot in the middle, you know. When all else fails, just get good positions, you know. What can you do? Either way, brilliant kickoff. DX Xavier with the first check in dinner. Let's head back to the desk.
सबसे गंदा तो वो आगे हैं। जो ये पीछे चोक किया है ना वो बहुत गंदा था। ये पीछे ने बहुत गंदा चोक कर। मेरे को सर अकेला था, लो एचपी पे था, हील कर रहा था और जाके क्या होगा। तो इस टूर्नामेंट का पहले मैच एपीजे ने चोकोटाई खाई। अब कौन खाई।
Xavier, get the...
Oh, you're pushing onto Alpha 7?
Yep.
Now that is perfect usage of smokes in that scenario.
It really is. I'm just impressed with DX timing right here. They waited for the right moment. They saw that they were actually... Alpha 7 was taking a fight with E-Arena. Noticed that right away and just moved out. What it looked like to be, honestly, an easy win for DX, they made that win happen at the end.
I mean, Levi's in particular, he's like, oh, I just eliminated all of Alpha 7 with my teammates, but I'm going to use Alpha 7's position as a launching point to eliminate all of E-Arena and secure the game. Every step of that finishing moment here from Xavier was so well executed. The IGLing, amazingly executed.
And something to keep in mind, too, look at the eliminations from this squad. What were we talking about at the beginning of the show? We're talking about some of those squads being able to get high eliminations. For this squad, they were in the position, honestly, that didn't allow them to get those eliminations, Max. They do end up there with just 8.
Unfortunately, the road plateau mid-game, I think you are not able to get involved in those fights because of how the terrain works out. So I'm okay with them getting a low elimination game. They're like, it's all we fight now and maybe go out early, or we get in a position that we know we easily make it top 5, maybe even top 3, and we can even compete for that chicken dinner, which in this case it works out. And because they get the win, it kind of offsets the low elimination match here on Rondo.
Yeah, speaking of fight timing, right? Alpha 7.
Oh.
Those guys, I kid you not, they had so many opportunities to take an easy third party, but they just sat so stealthy there, 7 at the start.
There's a lot of stuff to talk about.
और किसी ने तो पहली बीटिंग पाली,
Has to be
कोटाई हो गई उनकी।
obscure. Not
बढ़िया
playing
से
in this round though. It's actually
अरे
Mafioso
वाह
for most of PMGC
पिट
league
गया
stage. It ended up Mafioso being just the sub. For this first game, Mafioso steps in, and even though he doesn't end up with a lot of eliminations, he was doing everything right that we've seen out of Mafioso, making sure he didn't overextend, making sure he set up those plays for the team, and going back. I want to mention the fight that was happening between RA and Mad Bulls, and then APG third party in that fight. Alpha 7 could have maybe overlooked Max and see if they could maybe get a cheeky elimination. No, they were fully focused on their game, and this is a completely different team for Alpha 7. We're used to seeing that team be a little bit more aggressive, even if it's from far away, trying to get those eliminations.
A Brazilian team not playing aggressive? Excuse me? What's going on? Look, really, they saw that fight you're talking about to the west. You had Mad Bulls, you had RA, you had APG. But like, it's not really worth it. Let's prioritize position instead. And you know what? That position gets them in the podium position of this match. I love how passive they were, which is weird to say on the Rondo game. I do have to admit that. But I think that in that position, with
मतलब एपीजी ने 1v7 करवा लिया
they played it beautifully. And this is the Alpha 7 that can play big, aggro, high elimination games. Also more passive finishes to make sure they have that podium going their way.
And the awareness too, something that they ended up noticing, they were thinking about maybe going for a fight with E-Arena towards the southeast just to clear that south, but they realized that DRX was going to be pushing up. So what did they end up doing? They
वो सर कार के पीछे बैठ के आराम से हेल्थ लगा रहा है
stopping that push because DRX was coming in
और
hot. I mean,
ये
DRX timing around this game was actually quite nice.
I mean, DRX had a good timing until the moment where they got a little indecisive. They had Goat Team north of them, they had to the east Xavier, and they had Alpha 7 here. Hodgins, I was looking at DRX like, okay,
1v3 pusher बहुत बढ़िया
delaying it so much, in fact, that the blue zone became their biggest enemy in this one, which makes you so easy to nade for the entirety of Alpha 7.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful game from them. And you know what? I love the fact that, yeah, they were playing it passive, but they weren't afraid to also get into some fights, right? Early on, they caught Flash on that recall, Max, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a very interesting one, able to try and get yourself some early eliminations for Alpha 7. They're like, if there's a solo, it's possibly a recall strat. Let's try and get him before he pulls off the recall, which unfortunately for them did not happen, but still some nice ones coming out their way. Though, I want to pivot the topic here.
Yeah.
Goat Team, Killer Joe on top of that rock pillar.
But
good strat, but underlooted as hell. He had barely any bullets left at the end. He had one grenade. I think even got to the point where he was trying to emergency cover flare players below him.
That was the best.
That does not work out too often. So if you want to send a play up there, 7, just loot the hell out of the early game.
I mean, he was looking at VP, just push up towards his squad, and just with 9 bullets left on the gun, he's just like, do I go for it? I thought he was actually going to end up tapping, at least just cause some damage. Make him back off. No, he just goes, all right,
with
well,
the
hey,
S2K.
that's it. And then he switches to the SOK. Let's see if this will hit. We got a pop from the crowd on that one. They started laughing. But yeah, overall, great positioning, great awareness for Goat Team. They did that 3-1 split wonderfully. Something that you ended up mentioning during that match is that they did have Goat, that Killer, pretty much on the top, letting him play, letting him just scope out everything. The other 3 players towards the north of where Killer Joe was, and just seeing where he was going to be going.
Oh my gosh, I just love those shots of frustration. You just have to let these try one time to see if it hits, right? I get the second. You would think you were going to have a crazy Neox Factory hot drop, right? And it didn't happen here, 7. Why do you think that was?
I think some of the other teams decided to go elsewhere. We ended up seeing some fighting there from RA, Vampire. That's something that, from Vampire, I mean, even if we take a step back, for Vampire, I feel like the first 3 matches, and let me know if you agree with me on this, Max, I feel like the first 3 matches are going to be a warm-up. This is a squad that's coming in cold. They haven't really played any of the PMGC League stage. They were able to, I think, at least secure a couple eliminations here as we're looking at the match ranking. But overall, surprising RA. And one thing that actually surprised me was we continue to see the aggressiveness. That firepower that we saw out of RA in the gauntlet is still there. They don't get any placement points, but they end up with 8 eliminations.
Bro, Omori in that fight was clutch, especially with those grenades. He's able to really claim so much space in that particular compound versus the team of Mad Bulls. Even APG, right? They're able to clutch it up almost, but Ziola is able to get the nail in the coffin. Second page of the leaderboards. And yeah, D plus Kia taking an L this game, but not only just taking an L, taking an L to none other than Regnum Kara. Now that is revenge, and it's beautiful.
Oh man, I was so sad that we missed that fight, but I get it, right? I mean, Zone 4, that circle shifts up to the north. The Regnum Kara were outside of the circle, but with that hard shift, they go and take that northern position, but they end up with that fight with D+ and end up taking them out.
Actually, it's very interesting because they were both in circle, like, okay, we don't have to fight.
Yep.
But we want to.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really good idea when you think about it, because the circle is not always going to go your way. At least it's very rare to see that happen. So, like, what if we take the 5 versus D+ Kia early, and if we win it, guess what? the chances of us getting third-partied are infinitely low. And in that case, they did not get third-partied until the circle shifted away.
And for Reg, not just that, finishing that fight and then pushing up to Ulf, I think the awareness out of Regnum Carrier right there was, okay, more than likely, if we delay this fight, it's going to end up happening at some point. And you were talking about her earlier, Max. Guess what? He ends up securing that MVP. DX Levi's right there. 3 eliminations, 454. It might not seem like match because what I was talking about. That squad was just chilling for the longest time on that road.
Might be the lowest elimination chicken dinner record in the entirety of the grand finals. Maybe, I'm just saying.
Hey, you know what? But they took advantage of it. You know, you don't get those zones pretty often, but when you do, you got to get that chicken dinner. Unfortunately, they weren't able to put up those eliminations, but hey, a great start for them regardless of the situation. Now, I want to talk about a team that didn't really, a little underperformed here on this one, right? And it was Mad Bulls, right? They had that super early crash on the R8. We were looking at it and being like, hey, like, you know you're going to get third-partied, right, in that situation.
They were completely lost because they're like, oh, we're going to crash. And like, what if we send another player to recall to the west? Yep. And it was Lemon. They're like, which actually is very weird. You send your best fragger on the team to leave and attempt to recall. For me, you would give that role to someone else, not someone that's been MVP a few times during the league stage. Very surprising to me.
You were talking about their rotation, though. They did end up wrapping north. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was actually a very nice northern rotate. I enjoyed what was happening there from Mad Bulls, but they could have played edge, but Mad Bulls don't strike me as a very edge-focused team.
We're getting
Like,
a few teams
let's
down
send
towards. So not good start things off. Reezo also have.
चलो भाई मैच शुरू हो गया और हम भी शुरू करते हैं.
You also have Thunder Talk as well as APG. So APG aren't alone here anymore. The battle for the vehicles, at least on the northwest side of Sosnovka, whilst we wait for our first circle to come through, which indicates potentially a Sosnovka finish.
Oh, what? No! Oh, he's going for the swings with a knife around the tree. Oh, he's a sitting duck. Yeah, you're not going to be able to get that one. Krafton able to take it down. He nearly got Alva out the buggy.
He did, yeah. He really, really did. That's it. That's terrible news, though. Terrible news for Thunder Talk.
Blank the circle.
I know. I just talked about it. Just then. Yeah, definitely. Potentially they head down towards Sosnovka now. But sighting going down is terrible news for Thunder Talk. One of their best, their best player on the squad there in terms of firepower.
King को पेल दिया किसी ने.
Is going to hurt the chances for Thunder Talk.
पानी पिए और King मर गए.
Down towards what is potentially a Sosnovka finish here early, so they can play this one out. You'd much rather be on Sosnovka as a 3-man than playing over on the north side at the back of the queue.
Match शुरू होता है.
As we've seen a few times.
TTK King Chinese team.
As a 4-man, it's a little bit more of a tough rotate.
मारे गए हैं.
But teams aren't sure. Teams really aren't sure on this type of circle, John. They're undecided whether this is going down towards Sosnovka just yet, so we're waiting for that stage 2. It's going to be a mad dash if it is.
At the moment, I'm seeing it probably be around 70% probability.
बढ़िया रोटेशन देखने को मिलेगी इस मैच में.
That's what I'm thinking.
Say 60 to 70%.
No, I wasn't going to say that. You said that. But look, we get the little sub window on as the desk highlighted earlier, Alpha 7 restructuring. But about 70%. That's what I'm. Don't look at me like that. I'll start giggling, and you don't want that. But it's fairly likely. But I would say it may be quite profitable to sit on that north side of the bridge and look for a camp there. Or play a 2-2 split around it. That's a little bit more difficult, though. So for Ulf, I think they have a big opportunity to rack up points. I mean, they could get 6-7 elims on this position.
Yeah, I think the issue is for Ulf is holding as a 2-man on that northwest side is rough. It's very, very rough where you are in such a skillful lobby that the potential of having those 2 players go down immediately is really, really and that's what I'm worried about personally. Thunder Talk's still getting chased down right now as Alter Ego look to try and find a shot there, but it is Rosemary, and Rosemary is very split from the rest of the team. I think Rosemary does get overexcited sometimes, but they can't let the tail wag the dog there, which is a lot of times what happens with Rosemary. I don't really like it too much. And the annoying thing is, he finds a lot of success out of those angles. He does find a lot of success. But there is definitely times where we've seen it, and it has been categorically the wrong decision.
Absolutely. I mean, Rosemary is a seasoning, right? It's supposed to go with the rest of the
That's correct.
Of the dish.
That is very correct.
It's not its own main course.
No.
You know? And maybe he needs to learn.
And it never will be. But
stick with the salt, the pepper, and the beef.
It's an elevator, though. It's definitely an elevator of flavor, and that is what Rosemary brings to the table. My concern with what Max was talking about earlier now, because Max, man, said something I definitely disagreed with.
Oh, yeah?
Which is that VPE, quite a good Erangel team in the past, which I would agree with.
Okay.
It's not the same team.
Different team. But hopefully they're rocking the Polar Party Mini 14. You guys can log in to make sure you get your free permanent skin there. So make sure you're heading on over. You saw the little flash up on the left-hand side. And make sure that you're getting that free emote as well. There is plenty of goodies to be had.
BMIC में तो ये कुछ मिलेगा नहीं फ्री में.
Finals blank all the way up until Christmas. You can get that free emote.
Yeah, we ain't messing around. You know, you get your goodies on Christmas Day.
PUBG में दे रहे हैं.
If not Christmas Day for you, happy holidays either way, because you are getting yourself some loot here from PUBG Mobile. Overall, though, pretty fun game to start off with over on Rondo. I definitely enjoyed it. I think that talking about how Alpha 7 is shifting Mafioso in for Rondo makes a lot of sense to me, because he is very good when it comes to firepower. And I think on Rondo, you take way more team fights than you do on any other map. And I think that, you know, elevating the chances for Mafioso just to pop off there on Rondo, whilst having that fallback option of like, well, we messed that fight up, but we can recall, we can go again. And there has been multiple moments in the past for Alpha 7 where Mafioso has gone for like 1v3s, 1v4s, and he's looked fantastic. But I do think he has a little bit more of a tactical mind to him, as we've seen, and has been a great addition to the squad.
Singing his praises mighty highly.
I think he's fantastic.
Well, fair enough.
Push कर दो भाई, Med को पिल दो.
Because they're right up on the north side for Alpha 7. Regnum Kaya a little bit further south, but only just. They're out from Pachinki here. Mad Bull's taking shots, but not really connecting. It looks like they are. Yeah, they're just going to go and grab that buggy on the way. Oh no, they can't. Okay, you know, they can't take the time to slow down, get that speed up going, because Mad Bulls are already looking across that ridge, and they've got places to be, you know. Ulf, in the meantime, over on that bridge blank, as I'm taking a look back over towards the map feed, they are still holding this 2-2 split. And I really do hope that they can get points for it, because it is, as you said before, as you highlighted, very risky.
It's a high value play, right? But I don't think the value outweighs the risk on this one, personally. Okay. You know, I mean, I love high value plays. I love it when teams go for them. But this one just feels so dangerous. Really
A7.
10K getting knocked here out in the blue is unideal.
Gaya.
Getting a little bit of revenge from that last match that just came through. So that's 2 knocks, 2 potential finishes coming through for Alpha 7. 2 elims at the start of this game. Very nice.
Yeah, and they're all the way north of the river still, up north of Roshok. Far off into the blue zone as it starts to crunch on.
उड़ा दे बहुत बढ़िया.
From the match will not be playing an E-Arena. Nightmare on the start of their game. On their Erangel stretch, it is not going well. Obscure looking to pick up the point onto Tony K, and sure that one is going to go into the back pocket. Bleeds on out there, and will leave Obscure with the goodies. But they still have to move south blank. They're still very far up to the north.
NC2 have to get squared away here. Down towards the south side, live on.
We'll see चलो VPE को पकड़ा के इन्हें.
VPE dropping over towards the coastal side. Able to get 1 knock here, it'd be fantastic, but can't quite find it, and now reveals the location. That is a nasty circle, man. God damn. Actually criminal.
Oh, Vampire have got a hovercraft there. Just look at that rotation. They're going to be starting. They've already actually managed to get Lazarus across to the South Island. So they will be able to regroup onto his position if he can hold it. But this is going to be Alpha coming across. They're going to start to move into the west side. Thunder Talk, APG, Alter Ego. All of these teams are going to be there, and they need to move fast. Under pressure from Regan Kaya. They know how to light up these hovercraft. Are they going to be able to connect enough damage to stop Vampire getting across? I don't think so.
Definitely some long shots, but what we do know is that hovercraft is probably not carrying on too much longer in this game. Nate T slams straight into a vehicle, gives more opportunities for those shots to go through. This is where Ulf can start to find that value. The DP on the sidelines looks for the shots, won't quite line it up though.
क्या फायदा इनके कैंप करने का? ब्रिज कैंप भी किया और कुछ फायदा भी नहीं उठाया.
DXavier, they're allowed entry.
Hello?
They're allowed to go through. Scarface, where are you? You need those shots to land.
Oh my god, oh, pick up the phone, the walkie-talkie. It is blaring off in the distance. Finally, they get one off the back of it, but they could have had so much more. Very much disjointed there coming through from Ulf. A little bit of hesitation there coming through on the bridge, and now Marceau jumps into the hovercraft to keep himself alive.
Nimble. Vicious, hopefully. Team Flash, this is on the east bridge. We hop very quickly to the other side of the island. A lovely little shutdown and the roll down from Poser to follow it up. And Team Flash having a little bit of trouble here. Kara giving them a run for their money. Coming in through last chance. Team Flash still have a lot to prove, but to be honest, there's really no stakes for them at the moment. Anything that they achieve here is already a phenomenal result for them. See how far they can go. Back over to the north. As DRX are holding the longhouse.
Some clean shots, man. Some very clean shots. That is squeaky. Flip up topside now, but
last Philip
get his teammates back up again. Hyunbin looking mighty fine with that Abacam.
Hyunbin बहुत powerful है.
Very nice, very nice. But they are still north of that river, still north of that bridge, and that makes things so tough moving into the next circles here. Towards the center, you've got APG. I'm looking at Vampire as well, further out on that, getting all four of their players across.
Yeah, I think for Regnum Gaia, there's like this weird moment for them right now where VPE leaves that glider behind, and it's a tantalizing prospect for Regnum Gaia. But also, why did VPE leave that for us? Why would Vampires let us fly if not to take us down? This is a circle you do not see very often. And to see it here at PMGC Grand Finals is a real treat. We could be ending up over towards the bridge. Nobody enjoys that circle.
I'm so sorry for talking
about bottom में चल रहा है अभी तक एक भी kill नहीं किया है.
I am so sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm consistent team.
I'm sorry to DRX right now on the north side. Sorry to Rig of Kaya. Sorry to Team Flash. You know, it's just ruined their day, really. Kicking things off, it has been a trudge through the mud to move on down towards this south side, and it is not going to get easier. All for getting squeezed. DRX going to be able to get across this bridge? I think they are, because Scarface really wasn't holding it.
Well, DRX already had the anchor, right? They already set up. Scarface being down there has opened the gates for them. From DRX, he was the only player playing around the bridge. So for DRX, there's been a really good approach to finding Scarface, who had been a little bit lackluster on that angle, honestly.
Whoa.
Does let him across tops. It's not, come on. We're not doing another solo game. That's enough.
That's bad. But an answer. Okay, from up top, Aaron able to find one of DRX, and Tops laid out the bait for Ulf, and they were able to do well off it, get that point back actually may be able to achieve getting towards Scarface, but Ketch is going for it. QXC on the underside does know that there's a player now pushing, but does Ketch know? They know they're playing the box.
Thundertalk getting absolutely shredded by multiple teams as they attempted to strong-arm some position away from some of the squads there around Ulf, around APG. Might even get the res onto Scarface, which I'd be very surprised about.
Ketch, he's back up the stairs. He's back up the stairs, Ketch. Okay, there you go. He's found his teammate. Back on for the res. Thundertalk, they're trying to take the other face of Ulf, and it's not going to work. Slide straight on into the courtyard.
अच्छा कर रहा है फिलहाल तो.
They're looking dizzy right
उधर
now.
अपनी टीम का बंदा भी बचा लिया और इधर आते टीटी को एलिमिनेट कर दिया.
Crunch between Ulf as well as APG. Trying to take that position. It was very aggressive from Thundertalk, which I like. I do like, but that felt it needed to have a little bit more oomph. I mean, the idea was there, right? Execution just a little bit poor on that side of things. DRX is kind of concerned with how this all went down. They got all their players across. They got the initial knock, and then Kaiksei just revealed himself for too long. They knew the angles from Ulf as well, so for me,
इतने ज़्यादा experienced player हैं यार ये.
Potential misstep. Getting a little bit too bold with things. I'm looking at the middle of the circle, Blank. I'm seeing DX Avia pretty close to it. They are maybe on for a nice little conversion match. Alter Ego just to their south. Playing very, very middle. Ulf on a 3-1, trying to flex between 2-2, but the spray down for Marceau over towards Alpha 7, who finally made an appearance on the east side of the circle, but it's going back and forth here. Both teams extracting a little bit of damage, dealing a little bit. But it seems like Kara are more likely to be able to get their players back up. Guizhou now on the east side, trying to stay alive for Alpha 7. Meanwhile, Mad Bulls, one player... Oh!
Hello.
Oh, ये कहाँ बैठा पड़ा है?
Flip. Oh, he's been seen.
Oh,
He's not moving. Oh,
गया.
That's so annoying.
And D
That
plus
is
Kia might
so
think that they're
annoying.
taking shots at them. Oh, he's down. Okay, they're out. That is so fortunate for D plus Kia that they didn't lose a player to that.
Well done,
बहुत तगड़ा
Rectifier. You
लका
just
इनका.
helped out the guys that took you down in the last PMGC.
Oh, that's friendly.
I think that they would have not done that had they known who Flip was guarding out there.
Oh, well.
I think they would have absolutely let Flip fly from that position. Now, this game really isn't PUBG Mobile anymore. It's DX saved by the zone once again.
Okay, all right. Fair enough, right now they are slap bang in the middle again. Ulf really with a large amount of the north side, but we're on board with this fight. A rematch from the PMGC back in London. 2024, Regnum Kaya looking for D plus Kia. Two previous title winners going toe-to-toe, but Silas is out of it, so no longer. He's not going to be playing on that match. Not anymore. And they have the blue zone pushing them in too. R8, they've made it across, flexing all the way to the east side.
अब ये पार कैसे करेंगे? प्रॉब्लम तो ये है, दोनों टीमें आपस में लड़ेंगी, दोनों मरेंगी.
He's still all the way towards Ferry Pier.
Yeah, hadn't quite made it across yet.
Okay.
Oh,
Great nade from
Fabian gaya.
Fabian, but there is a nade coming over the top there. We'll get the air burst, but mostly damage over towards one.
बस Fabian finish हो गए.
Some points is better than no points.
No,
Day,
bro.
we get to stage 4, and this is going to start to hurt.
Going for the run. Said, well, yeah, just going completely down there. Not great. Wild now with a challenge. And steps out for it. Good peek there.
Chips भी गया.
Two-player peek onto the angle, and Chips gets dunked.
ले.
Unfortunately, though, there is an immediate
अब वो
response
शैल बचा है सिर्फ.
here. While still on
नहीं,
two
नोलबू
players,
भी बचा है.
Nolbu
नोलबू knock हो
flexing
गया.
for it. Lit
और
up from the
गया.
sidelines, though, as DRX turn their attention back out to the bridge. Irina's been eliminated. We are all the way to the south. We're all the way to the northeast. We're going everywhere, Blank. We're checking out all the angles. It's R8. They've made their way in on a late rotation east.
हमारे चैंपियन तो ऐसा लग रहा है ऐसे बाहर
Right
हो
behind
जाएंगे.
Kara right now. Kara a little bit of a dangerous team, but
Champion.
at the moment, R8 still has
Yeah.
that number a little bit. For Ulf, I
Current
am
champion.
amazed at their resilience. Right, it is very impressive that they're able to slowly work their way back into a position that is holdable, that is playable. Very, very impressive.
DRX
stuff
बहुत ज़्यादा
from Ulf here.
consistent है.
Feels much more like the Ulf that we saw in PMSL EU, who was so dominant. Had a little bit of a fall off going in towards PMGC, where there was plays, times where we thought that they could go so much further, but it's just not the case.
बढ़िया
Well,
है
last
यार,
chance
उन्नीस
to
से
try
ज़्यादा
and
तो हो ही
make
रहा है.
that the case in this year during this tournament. APG playing on the south side a little bit close to the edge here. Goat team behind them. I don't think Goat team are making it out of this one. Zone goes south. Ooh, keeps APG in this one. And the DX Xavier compound. Don't worry, you know, they're still inside the circle with a shift. It's fine, it's fine.
I think it's most unfortunate for Kara, who just about get themselves towards this spot, and now moving across the roadside is really hard. Getting over towards the west, John. DX Xavier will absolutely hold Kara out as much as possible. And for R8, who moved in slightly later, just were able to get a much better deal out of this one, right? They squeezed a negotiation out of Kara, and they got the better end of the deal. Absolutely. Down towards this south side. Flash is in this area, but they're only playing with one player, still trying to hold on as best he can to this map.
I mean, placement points, every single point helps, right? That's why we saw the denial of points there from GOAT. They know you don't give points away for free. You're very much not getting out of that one. You just hide away, you wait for the blue zone to do its job. Take those points out of the running. In the meantime, though, on the north side of this, Kara, with the road crossing, under pressure, off angles, multiple off angles here from R8 down the road. And teams up the top as well, as Ulf still trying to hold their ground. Vampire slowly marched in from that south side, again in the hovercraft, but this time it's on fire.
Hovercraft चलने लग गया भाई.
To take the rest of its health bar. The spray down answer is good from Lazarus. Backs him off a little bit, but Aaron now trying to divert attention his way. Doesn't quite get the damage on, and Lazarus stays alive, but how much longer? Dodges just about in time.
Aaron is crazy, man. That's relying on the mag being empty. I'm telling you, that's relying on the mag being empty there. Get himself across. Ulf is taking a lot of fights at the moment. Up to 8 elims on the game. It is a real big one.
वहाँ से कवर देना चाहिए उसको टॉप से तो सही रहा है इसके लिए.
Oh no. That is bad news on the northern side. He is having a bit of a nightmare there. And it's not likely he's going to be back into this game. And with Aaron going down, that's going to leave them as 2. Scarface and Ketch going to be playing on now. Solus, yeah, he gets knocked there. Should be flushed away by DRX.
That is so unfortunate.
That's really unfortunate, especially in their position. They needed everyone at full force, but they still have 2. They still have Scarface and Ketch. And hopefully, Scarface can pick it back up. A little bit lax on the bridge hold, but as you said before, they've got 8 elims already on this match. More than could be said for most of our other teams. It was fairly flat on the points distribution over on Rondo, so that has helped them mightily in their points standings. Teams are going to try and pressure them out now, though, as DRX want a tad of revenge on this northern side.
Just a little bit. Would be fantastic. For VPE, 3 players still alive here. Trying to get back into the mix of it, but Ulf is holding. Onside, Scarface looks to find more, but VPE will get the job done. 2 players down. DRX don't make the distance either. And Olorigo
DRX be eliminated
on that northeast side, but can't count out APG on the high ground. Can't count out R8 in the wings.
Waiting for their moment to pounce, waiting for their moment to strike. Ulf, as you said before, they are down on this match. APG looking to try.
चलो कारा और DX का हो रहा है. DX लास्ट मैच जीते भी हैं.
Corralled into the corner.
और 3 बचे हुए भी हैं.
Off angles really as
3v3 है.
across as well. It's going to be difficult for Win to do anything about and will go down. Eliminated.
R8 4 के 4 बचे हैं. APG भी 4 बचे हैं.
Hopes, but still plenty more games to play. APG lighting up R8 on the crossing. Marth going low, and there's an answer immediately up there, but the flush has already gone through. And R8 a little bit too late to try and save Marth on that fight. Kara probably not so lucky here. The Xavier. They are only playing as 3 though, and that may be just about enough.
I mean, the hovercraft is the defense you need here, but they've left it so long to make this cross. And again, like I said before, this cross is disgustingly hard to make. Love this flex out coming through from Alva, though. This is really nice. Looking towards buildings that he knows he can guard.
This is only possible because R8 crossed over when they did, right? He can't take that angle if R8 still hold further out on the east. It's just not going to be possible, and the reses were going through there already. Nox and flushes immediately. Snape on the high ground is on the hunt for DXavier. They are trying to take this one down. The team at the top of the tables, even if you get the circle shift, Alter Ego, they're going to still try and challenge you out. But R8, this lineup on the roadside blank, it is back and forth.
Yeah, Snape kept trying to re-peek on that one, but it was a good shot back coming through from R8 there. Keeps them at bay for the time being after they rolled out on that south side. VPE, Meowlag, Tony K, Lazarus. 3 players from VPE still trying to make it work on this western side, who've done very similar things to Ulf with some great resilience on a pretty open area. But APG not finding the amount of success they might have liked here on this game from the high ground.
5 elims. Still a springboard to have a solid result here versus Vampire. 3 players up the top. Doc on a wide off angle here, overlooking R8 right now, gathering intel. Can't really go for the peak. And actually, Alpha Gaming regrouping south. A response to R8 who are flexing out. They saw this one coming from a mile off, and Amori and Ida7 have to back off. They can't go for the rollout straight over the top, but Vampire might be able to backfill this. Take a lot of pressure on that northwestern side. R8 really looking for something, but not really getting too much. Back they go.
Just need to find one there. If they can take down Ida, it makes it a much easier team to handle, and that's exactly what they do. Very smart from APG there. You take shots over towards that north side. What's going to happen? The team on the south is going to try and wrap on that hilltop and get a bit of a better position to play. So it was a lovely decision from APG to make that move.
DXAV's in the circle, don't worry. We're totally fine. We thought maybe not, but no. They get the north side of the compound. Up on that north edge. They are going to have a good time on this one. Likely a third place. Guaranteed here for DXAV. And for Alter Ego, I think this could be a chicken dinner spot.
It could be. I think that the only thing for Alter Ego right now is that, yes, they hold this position, but they are on the low ground. Technically, VPE or APG could hold them out from the hilltop on that northwest side. It depends how quickly they're forced out into open ground.
The fight on this north side. Really going to decide who's going to be up to bat against Alter Ego, as you said, to try and shut them out here. All right, a little bit diminished after their chaotic flex out. We'll put it that way, after a good response from APG, and likely that they're going to be going down as well. APG really reluctant to take the fight on the northern side. It looks like they might be trying to roll down the hill here towards R8. Put more pressure on. Could be just trying to clear their back.
You've got to clear the mosquitoes, man. It's going to be very hard to take a fight with VPE properly, with Amori as well as Prestige. I mean, Amori's going to hit those shots. That's an undeniable fact. This guy's a very good player. If you give him an opportunity, he will cause problems for you. Prestige makes the rollout, and there's the shot, as I was talking about it.
Oh, okay, Reefus does hold his nerve against it, but Amori is still there, into the buggy. Reefus actually turning around, leaving all the work up to top. Amori dodges back behind the tree trunk, and top not quite connecting, gets a little bit done, and there's the off angle. Okay, R8 will be going down as Yol steps into the fight. APG a little bit slow now, but they have to march forwards, and they will be able to do so fairly uncontested. With R8 gone, that gives them a lot of latitude out to the east.
Oh my God, the Doc babysitter, he is back. It's top on the menu. Love to see it. Get your boy back up in a position. 80 limbs on. Great start for them. Four-way fight coming to you. Alter Ego, APG, DXAV, and VPE here. APG being the only other team with an Alter Ego with all four players up and kicking.
APG के चारों player ऊपर है.
Towards the road side with the middle. DXAV cut out by this one. Alter Ego
निकाल सकते हैं.
Inside, so we'll see if they can hold their spots there, if they're going to want to try and flex out, get rid of DXAV, push out to that west edge. Vampire. I mean, they have a sliver of terrain to be working with, and they are angling straight towards APG.
Yeah, VPE, they've got to come out. All right, the Vampires will have to approach the sun here. On the north side, Alpha Gaming, they've got a great lineup on this one. Reefus is definitely keeping eyes on over towards the eastern side. Top, though, does find Tony K, and that is the outpost. Very unlikely the Vampire is going to pick him back up again. At distance, this guy is lethal. There's only 41 bullets, roughly, to get this done. A little bit hard.
APG being able to flex out to the east side is pretty huge on this circle blank. The fight with DXAV and Alter Ego, that can play a 2v4. We'll see what they can do, but Vampire really struggling now. Gonna have a very, very difficult time.
600 damage कर दिया.
Has managed to do 600 damage off the back of it, though, and the nades pouring on forwards. Lambor was very, very low, and Alter Ego want to lay more down, want to layer this one through. As another knock comes through for top. Nades land.
DX तक वो काम हो गया.
Burning. No circle, no luck. Levi's left alone. A lone ranger. I don't think he's getting too much further.
Reefus, staying towards the top side of the building. Could have been deadly. Now Alter Ego have got to move. APG, they've got the setup. Zol's moving around the side. The smoke does deny the sideline from him too, which is a bit awkward for them. They're starting to pour these nades in over towards Alter Ego. They're locked into the building. Zol's angle has to be concrete here for them. He's got to be rock solid on that side of things. He can't peek unless the team is taking shots alongside with him, because if he goes down, their win potential goes down by a heck of a lot.
Alva first to go down, and that is a brilliant pickup from Doc. 3 versus 4 now. Reefus moving in. He's only got one nade, and he's looking for
Reefus पिछली बार भी opening दे दिया
था. He's going to be able to burn this one.
दूसरी टीम को.
The cook, the nade is there, and the follow-up from Doc as well from the
high ground
is huge, and another as well to get the re-knock. Snape is there. It's just Krafton now remaining, and APG have this match in a chokehold. A little bit clumsy on Rondo, but not so here. They still have one more player to handle, and it might get messy. Krafton's still giving it a good go, but
Rufus रुकता नहीं है, जाके मर गया.
You still got to question it, and it will be APG from the high ground. A brilliant bounce back from their rondo onto the first Erangel.
Yeah, it's a painful elastic
Chalo.
down towards R8 as well. Such good game sense from this squad jump.
Brilliant, brilliant shutdown. Getting rid of R8, as you say, moving out to that east side, leveraging their ridgeline perfectly. Alter Ego couldn't get out. DXavier pushed to the backside. They will not be able to get past that high ground position. APG close it down. Nice flex out, nice responses, good calls, a cohesive unit, and that is what you need to see from APG.
With DXavier as well towards the center zone. I mean, they got
एपीजी वाला मैच भी जीत ही सकते थे, लेकिन वही बात है कि एपीजी ज़्यादा अच्छी टीम है, लेकिन शैनॉक में नाजिक नहीं था। चलो आप देखेंगे हम। Huge me. Let me connect another device where we can play your plug and play, and we can add our screen as well. Oh. Mm-hmm. 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 करते हैं अभी। Okay. हमने ये बना दिया, इसको हम छोड़ा नहीं कर सकते।
Some more points, but can they keep this up, considering the circle's not always going to be on your side? And even there, they weren't able to get themselves a chicken dinner. It all comes down to the gun skill at the end of it. Alter Ego looking fantastic, but it's APG with the win.
Alpha Gaming get the first chicken dinner in Aragale, and they do it in beautiful fashion. 7, their positioning was just so on point this match.
The positioning from this squad is really what was impressive and what allowed them.
This is a simulation game set in a virtual world and does not represent real life. Please play in moderation, take frequent breaks, and play responsibly.
चलो एक गेम यही खेल लेते हैं, क्या ही करना है, देख लेंगे। ऐसे करके वहाँ लगाए। क्यों भाई क्यों?
क्यों? सत्तर 140 70 140 नहीं 70 23 23 82 71 36 71 36
I got supplies.
तो फोन पे कोई ऐड दे तो बस
हेलो लोकी, मेरी वॉइस आ रही है?
मैंने क्या पता गेट दे बस जाना चाहे पीछे अगले ने जैसी नहीं जैसी थारा पीछे नहीं कटसी बस 370 कितना है बचा ले चूतिया बचा ले
Watch out!
मरना नहीं
अरे माँ की आँख।
I need consumables.
मैं तो गन दे रहा था तुझको बंदा आ
Marked a location.
चूतिया मर गए कि दो ही थे कि ये
दो ही थे।
ठीक है एल टिकट दे दे
मेरे पास तो कुछ है ही नहीं।
भाई यहाँ पर बैरल की एमो डली है और एक एमो उधर डली है, चाहिए तो ले उठा लो कोई पेटी से। मेन में आ जाओगे?
मैन आ रहा है।
चूतिया एल टिकट दे दे तो आसिफ एक ही तो एल किट आगे काम आएगी तो दे दो चूतिया अब काम आएगी कर दिया कितने बस अभी काम आएगी क्या ले ये ले ये तो मेरे पास ही है चूतिया इनको लपेटूंगा क्या देते ये तो आगे चला गया चूतिया तो बोल रहा मेरे पास ही है दे जल्दी 5 वनडे तो दे ला चुपचाप ले 5 वनडे तो है नहीं अरे दे फिर भाग गया चलना नहीं है क्या ऐसे भाई तो दो बंदे आए फिल्म मिलेगी तुझको घंटा मिलती है इसमें एक कैम पड़ी है
एक कैम मैंने भी डाली है अभी थोड़ी देर पहले
उसको ऊपर आ से ऊपर आ जल्दी अरे
Watch out!
ऊपर जा रहा हूँ पहले लूट तो कर लो ठीक से बोट भी आते हैं तू है ना इसमें एक तो मैंने ही बचाया तुम लोगों को ठीक है अरे निपट जाते पूरी घंटा बचाया है मारा मैंने भाई उसमें शॉटगन और बचाया रिवाइव किसने दिया तुझे रिवाइव दिया किसने रिवाइव तो हो जाता मार दिया था रिवाइव तो हो जाता जब मैं मारता ही नहीं तो सामने जाके खड़ा हो जाता मैं सामने खड़ा हो जाता उसके मर जाता है, छुट्टी बोलता ले आ जा, बचा लेता फिर।
बचाया नहीं है क्या?
बचाया है भाई, तगड़ा बचाया है,
है भाई।
तगड़ा बचाया है।
वही तो, इनको एप्रिसिएशन करना तो आता ही नहीं है भाई किसी का।
एकेएम बहुत सारी पड़ी हैं यहाँ पे, ये तीसरी एकेएम मिली है मुझे।
वही तो मैं चला नहीं रहा था, मत रही है।
अब चिकन डिनर निकालना है, ठीक है? अब तुम देख, ये कि भाई यूट्यूबर आ गया हमारी लॉबी में, ठीक है? ठीक है, तो
कौन सा
चिकन
यूट्यूबर
तो
है?
निकलना ही चाहिए। 3 नंबर भाई यूट्यूबर है ना, 80,000 वो सब्सक्राइबर है भाई के।
मेरी कसम,
यही नाम से 80,000 है।
हाँ भाई,
अरे इसमें की कसम कूदती है भाई, 80,000 है।
डाइजेस्ट नहीं हो रहा भाई ना मुझको, मैं भाई इतने बड़े यूट्यूबर के साथ खेल रहा हूँ।
अरे इसको अल्टीमेट शेड वगैरह दिखा ना, मम्मी शेड वगैरह तूने लगा रखे हो तो।
हाँ दिखाता हूँ इसको।
सोच रहा है भाई ये।
वो भाई दिखाएगा कहाँ से, उससे पहले डाउनलोड होनी चाहिए मेरे पास से।
सही कह रहा है भाई।
पैक ही डाउनलोड नहीं है।
अभी देख तू लाइव जा रहा है, पता है? वैसे मन कर गया तो मैंने कहा ठीक
पकड़ियो
है।
ना जरा, बग्गी लियो। गाड़ी है क्या तेरे पास? आऊं?
नहीं है गाड़ी, नहीं है।
कल भाई ने मुझे सूट दिया यार M4 से।
किसने सूट दिया?
तुमने और किसने?
अरे वो गलती से लग गया होगा एक
अरे
दूसरा।
कौन सी घंटी अरे घंटी किसने लगा दी इसमें?
कैसे?
तुम्हें घंटी की सुनाई नहीं आ रही ये आवाज?
कहाँ पर आ, कहाँ
क्या
से
कर रहा है
रही?
अमित? आना, जोन आ गया।
अरे भाई घंटी की आवाज कैसे आ रही है? तो बैठ, उसमें बैठ, वरना उतर जाएगा इससे तो।
है ना, घंटी की आवाज आ रही है ना? कल किसी एक लड़की लाइव आ रही थी ना, अरे यहाँ पे बंदे हो सकते हैं।
लेफ्ट में एक गाड़ी आ गई।
दिव्या इस लाइव नाम से।
हमारे सर्किल काट रहा है वो, चारों तरफ राउंड काट रहा है। अरे ले 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 ले, ले।
नीचे एक नौका। कवर दो थोड़ी। मेरा फिनिश करवा दो यार, कोई एक दो।
तुझे भी फिनिश करवा दे।
हाँ क्या पास में?
चलो हो गया।
ओह माय गॉड,
वो तो गया फिनिश।
अरे खेल किसके साथ रहो भाई? यूट्यूबर अब आ पाएगा यूट्यूबर जो भी है।
यूट्यूबर कोई और आएगा? नहीं। हमको क्या ही चाहिए।
गाड़ी दिख रही है इस साइड चलना। दिख रही है ना, तुझे नहीं दिख रही है? कौन सी है ये बता। 10 यूसी वाली हैं? अरे जिसका लक अच्छा होता है उसके 10 यूसी में निकल जाती है ना, वही तो है।
और क्या भाई?
जैसे मेरा तेरा तो है ही नहीं। मेरे पास तो पैसे ही ना भाई, 10 यूसी भी होती है, बस 60 यूसी नहीं खरीदी जा रही है। पैसे भी मिलते हैं उसके। इतना छोटा बंदे 21 ड्रॉप लूट के निकलते बस। उठा उठा चल। तू ड्रॉप करेगा, इससे अच्छा मैं ही ड्रॉप कर देता भाई। अरे मैं शॉटगन गिराता फिर।
इस साइड का प्लान है।
राइट है, राइट आगे की तरफ चलो ना।
Marked a location.
यहाँ पर मत रोकना, यहाँ पर मत रोकना।
ये बहुत घटिया जगह है।
पहाड़ी ले लो। पहाड़ी का कुछ फायदा तो कोई नहीं। पीछे से गिर जाएगी, आगे से गिर जाएगी, गिर गिर के मारेगी चोटी। ये घरों की तरफ चलो, इससे अच्छा था। दो पे को दे लूटेड है।
आस पास में ही होगा फिर कोई।
बैग मिल गया उसके पास चल।
आस पास में ही होगा कोई।
अभी तो बहुत बड़ा सर्कल है।
सर्कल बहुत बड़ा है तो है।
क्या नहीं, अभी नहीं, ये मैच बाद में खेलूंगा। हेल्थ लेने से भाई चूतिया ये जाएगा पहले। मैं तो बैंडेज भी उठा लूंगा। 33 बैंडेज होगी मेरे पास। सभी उठा ले।
मेरे पास 10 बैंडेज है। हाँ जोर उठा ले। अरे क्यों?
M4 मिले तो बताना।
वो लेके नहीं आए थे?
हाँ मुझे तो मिली ही नहीं। वहाँ पड़ी थी ना, पेटी में भी थी शायद एक। पेटी नहीं लूटी मैंने। लगा ले टीम टीम।
यहाँ 2-2 4x पड़े हैं, चाहिए हो तो उठा लो।
I got supplies.
नहीं ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा। दिन लेके एक रहा कितनी बात है। चल चल आजा। मजा बड़ा हो चलते रुक जा अलेक्स। अरे यार अंदर एट पड़ा उसके। मेरा उसकी तरफ बंदे। चल आजा। रुक जा जो ना आया उन पे।
जो हमें पे
फ्यूल ही नहीं है बे गाड़ी में। तो फ्यूल क्या नहीं है किसी पे।
आगे खतरा है।
किसको मार रहा है? तो बंदे हैं।
बंदा था यार, बच गया।
ठोक दो बंदे में जाकर। मैंने उस बग्गी वाले की हेड कर दिया।
बग्गी वाले को दिया हूँ अच्छा खासा।
और दे रहा हूँ ना। दोनों बग्गी मैंने भी दिए भाई उसको तो। चार्जर है मगर।
दोनों बग्गी लगी हुई हैं यहाँ पे।
निकल गए वो पहाड़ी से बंदे। क्या पता।
पर वो गया कहाँ? फ्यूल तो इसमें पड़ा हुआ था, यहाँ पे अगर चाहिए था तो ले सकते थे।
मैं गाड़ी लिया था अमित भाई।
यही करता रहूँ मैं। फ्यूल तू चलाएगा ना गाड़ी लेकर, वहाँ पर डाल रही हो उसमें। मेरे बैग में
यार
तो
वो
जगह ही
बच
ना।
गया।
Watch
वहाँ बंद
out!
गया। खूब थी खूब।
हाँ है।
गई।
Watch out!
सामने गई।
हम थोड़ा यही हाइट ले लेंगे ऊपर वाली। चलें?
चलो चलो चलो।
आगे खतरा है।
हाँ यहीं
यहाँ
चलने
पर
की
कवर भी
कोशिश कर
रहेगा।
रहे हैं, बस बनने ना हो।
चढ़ जा टावर पे, चढ़ जा तू।
Watch out!
घंटा हो स्पाइडरमैन में।
ओ ये उड़ा दूँ वहाँ।
मतलब तू चढ़ना, चढ़ जाते तो। वाह यार, कैसे चढ़ते हैं?
एक ही चढ़ो, एक ही चढ़ो।
जा रहा हूँ क्या?
अरे नीचे गिरेगा चूते। मेरी वो है तेरे साथ।
एक ही चढ़ो, लेकिन सामने फाइट हो गई।
मेरे पास
नीचे
गाड़ी है।
गाड़ी है बंदी नीचे। नीचे नीचे गाड़ी थी आसिफ। अरे मैं गिर गया उसको फायर करने के चक्कर में।
Help!
मार दिया यार, शेर मार
आगे
दिया।
खतरा है।
इसी में
आगे
से
खतरा है।
पीछे आजा, पीछे आजा, पीछे आजा।
ठीक है लगता है। ठीक है तो
आजा 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 आजा। क्या आजा। अमित क्या कर रहा है? अमित फिनिश होने वाला हूँ मैं। हो गया मैं।
भाई साहब हमारा तो लगने वाला है यहाँ पे तकड़ा।
नहीं लगेगा बे, बस हेल्थ लग जाए।
एक बंदा यहाँ पे है।
Marked a location.
वाह क्या लोकेशन मार्क हुई है यहाँ पे। यहाँ पे
Marked a location. Marked a location.
अरे इसने मेरे सब स्मोक खत्म कर
नेट डाल जहाँ पे मैंने डैमेज दिया है, बहुत अच्छा खासा। नॉक कर दिया मैंने।
खाली मिसाइल गिरा रहे हैं।
फिर उसको फिनिश किया क्या?
नहीं नहीं वो फिनिश नहीं हुआ भाई।
मारना मित।
कहाँ जा रहा है तू? कहाँ जा रहा है?
एरा देख, एरा बंदा सामने यहाँ पर। मैं पीछे आ रहा हूँ।
भी कूद है।
तूतिया ने देख कुचल दिया PUBG से। तू तो फायर ही नहीं देता।
मुझे दो थे, ये तो बता देता उस पे रैप दे रहा है वो वहाँ पर।
बस हो गया
अरे वाह क्या नेट था यार।
यार
गजब नेट था भाई, कुछ भी बोलो।
भाई नेट तो गजब था ही।
एक किल भी नहीं निकला भाई मेरे। किसको मार दिया मैंने?
देखते हैं इधर क्या होगा।
To get this win, for the longest time we
these buildings at the same time. Twix has a nade. Zedwolf very close by with one of his own, but doesn't quite have the tag on just yet. Doesn't have the bead, the marker. Oh, okay.
I wonder if they think they've checked that angle with that nade. That could be dangerous. They should hear the pin pull here. Zedwolf knows that Twix is stepping there, and there's a rock up. There's a third party coming through from Vampire. This is going to crash into the back of Goat Team, so they cannot go for this engagement. Vampire playing in the foothills, but this is only two of them, and Vampire actually going to probably turn around off this shift flank because it's hard back towards Yasnaya.
At least you have information, because the circle moves north, and it's again now a pretty nasty circle. For DXavier, they're quite happy with the position they hold, but for the Flash, this is a very much winning position for them. Absolutely winning position. You have clear sight lines over towards that eastern side as teams start to approach towards you. They really only need to deal with Mad Bulls, and Mad Bulls have to leapfrog a lot of buildings to get here, which gives plenty of time for Flash to dig them out of those trenches as they try and wade through.
लगता है आज का दिन तो डीके का है ही नहीं। D+ किया
how successful Mad Bulls is going to be. Potentially Arena on this north side as well. From that shack, they have a lot of sight lines, but they do need to take it first, and it's not going down without a fight. Two players fall on the inside. Marth cleaning house, not quite. Mormon able to step on in when his team needs him the most. They're dropping the smokes now, and they need to try and live this one out. But the north side, again, for Arena, if they can clean this out, great news.
22. Me, blocking my smoke.
Oh no, catches the heel there. Not friendly, not nice. Catch for Ulf did flex all the way out to the east side. Vampire still doing a lot of damage, but it's actually Silas who chimes in for another knock towards Goat Team. There is an answer though. Oh, he's flushed away. Okay, hang on a minute. Oh yeah, losing players. They've actually, okay, they moved ahead. I was wondering, why are they taking shots from that back? Don't they need to get a move on? But no, they already did. But they have moved in with 3. That should be fairly successful here.
For Magnum Karya, they are at 3 still, so they're not doing terribly. Wild is down again. That's a 2v4 versus Vampire, and you start to believe that it's gonna be rough now for Regnum Karya. Already had a fairly decent game though with the 7 elims they were able to get. Zedwolf just peppered at the moment. I think for Regnum Karya, likely they go down soon, but I think they'll be quite pleased with this match so far anyway.
Wolf
Could go better.
1. Oh, it's traded. Killer Joe there. Loxy tries to move in to save his teammate, but he's flushed away very, very quickly. The roll down not going to quite connect. Catches on a mission, on a wide angle. The off angles are there. And Vampire now trying to stop this fight dead in its tracks. 2 players still for Regnum Karya. Go up in smoke. Goat soon to follow. Divided and conquered by both Vampire and Ulf. The flex outs working wonders.
Tony K, what a player this guy is. has always had a huge amount of talent and is now looking to prove it here at pMGC. Catch goes down to Mialak. And Ulf realizes maybe they bit off more than they could chew here versus Vampire.
You don't want
भाई
to
साहब वेम्पायर तो अच्छा खेल रहा है.
That's just a terrible idea. All things considered, there are far better things to be going for. Although Wolves, pretty good cheering themselves. An age-old rivalry. We'll have to wait and see how that one's going to come on through.
They choked on their group stage.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's fair. Vampire didn't even play a group stage. Shift into Flash's favor. How many points do they have, though? 0. They've got no elims right now, blank. And it is very much one of those late-game, not gambles, but investments, right? It's a late-game investment for Team Flash. They have put a lot of, well, they have a lot of presence on this East Point, as you were highlighting earlier. We'll see if they can maintain against some incredibly strong teams here. Going to look to try and take it from them.
It's still a weird circle in the sense that wherever it goes next does change the way the game plays, right? There's multiple circles in the past where no matter really what it does, there's still one team that has that really strong spot. For the Flash, though, if it starts moving up towards the north side, they start to have a difficult game. It's tough decisions ahead of them. Lovely shot on Aaron, though, on the moving vehicle. Luckily, Solus is there to find Turney.
And that was 3 players in the same vehicle, just getting sprayed down. Scarface, a complete broadside on that rotate. So just Joker remaining for the arena. I thought maybe, but no. They weren't the ones to save me. Not this time.
Ulf is ahead of them here. I think for Joker, he's not long for this world. They also have sightlines on him, right? They already took tags over towards this guy. So I'm pretty sure they know where he's playing. Vampire make their way up, though, towards Flash. Flash have to remove these players.
Yeah, the window shot's not quite landing on towards Vampire on their approach. Found an opening. This is not good news for Team Flash. Not many placement points if they go down here and now. That is not ideal. Joker trying to make his open dash. Zeus will be getting rezzed in the meantime. I think Mad Bulls need to think about moving now. Think about moving in towards the position of Team Flash. Maybe move a little bit further south. Get across that road potentially. We'll have to wait and see what they go for. Ulf also marshalling their forces. After losing Catch, they're playing as 3, but they've got this hillside.
You're concerned with the next circle, though. I think for Mad Bulls, they don't want to cross this road because what happens if this moves north? What happens if this moves down towards the southwest? There is a lot of changes that can happen here where then suddenly Mad Bulls...
pMGC में
This is a simulation game set in a virtual world and does not represent real life. Please play in moderation, take frequent breaks, and play responsibly.
The blue team has scored for the first time!
ऐसा लगता है साउंड लेट हो जाती है, पता है नहीं, ऐसा लगता ही है सिर्फ।
Killing spree for the red team.
अरे भाई क्यों 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 क्यों?
Killing spree for the red team. The red team's streak has just been terminated. Watch out. The red team is in the lead.
अरे माँ की माँ।
The red team's streak has just been terminated.
Mark a different say.
Watch out. The red team is about to win. Killing spree for the red team. The red team is unstoppable.
This is a simulation game set in a virtual world and does not represent real life. Please play in moderation, take frequent breaks, and play responsibly.
I need a weapon.
Welcome to Ultimate Royale. पर नहीं पीछे ही सही है, पर भी सही है।
I need a weapon.
और ये उठा लो, ये उठा लो।
Watch out. Marked a location. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Marked a location. Watch out. Help! Watch out. Watch out.
और थोड़ी उसकी उसका एमो दे दो थोड़ा सा, शॉटगन का, ज़्यादा नहीं, एक ग्रेनेड दे दो।
Marked a location.
उड़ गए, उड़ गए, उड़ गए, उड़ गए, उड़ गए, उड़ गए। मॉन्क 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 मॉन्क, बढ़ गए। चलो भाई, छोरी चौथ का खेल किसके साथ रहा?
हाय कशिश।
हेलो।
तुम रिक्रूटमेंट दे बैठे थे, मेरे को लगा तुम आओगे नहीं, मैंने तुम्हें 2-3 बार पहले भी बुलाया था।
नहीं, मैं जस्ट चेक कर रही थी कि कौन कौन है।
ओ
This is a simulation game set in a virtual world and does not represent real life. Please
I
play
won
in
my
moderation,
last match.
take frequent breaks, and play responsibly.
It is showtime. Good luck, mates.
अरे योशी मिस्टू आ गया यार। गाइस माइक रिजो माइक
किसी का माइक?
मेरे माइक में इशू आ गया, अब सही है?
बढ़िया, तुम बताओ।
बस बढ़िया। पापा प्लेयर, बेटा प्लेयर, चाचा प्लेयर, चाची प्लेयर,
अंकल प्लेयर।
क्या हो गया? अरे नाम कह रहे थे पापा प्लेयर, कुछ नहीं, पापा प्लेयर।
अरे मेरा पहला स्क्वाड जो था ना जब लॉकडाउन के टाइम पे, तो फूफा जी, जीजा जी, ताया जी।
हाँ ये तो यार बहुत ओल्ड हो गया है,
हाँ
अभी पबजी के टाइम से ज़्यादा चालू हुआ।
तो हम लोग रखे हुए थे सारे लोग।
सुजल जी
बढ़िया काम किया।
बहुत बढ़िया काम किया।
प्रतीक जी बोलिए,
कैसे हैं आप? शादी आदि
बढ़िया है
नहीं
सर।
जा रहे हैं सब? पबजी खिलवा लीजिए।
सर बस जा रहा हूँ सर, मैं आपके लिए आया था सर, बस कशिश जी आप कैसे हैं?
निकले आए थे और के लिए आए थे।
बढ़िया जी आप? जी जी
हाँ जी।
हाँ जी, आपसे जी में बात करेंगे हम, जी लेने लेने हल्दी जी।
कोई नई बात नहीं है जी, ले आओ।
ले आओ
एक ऐसे दबा
ले
दिया।
आओ ले 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 आओ, ऊपर जाओ ऊपर जाओ ऊपर जाओ ऊपर जाओ। किसी को तो भर दिया।
अबे सेंटर खाली हो गया।
गन किसने उठाया?
दोनों 1 HP।
अबे
कहाँ पे भाई?
क्या हुआ?
वेट
पीछे 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 बच गया।
कहाँ है पीछे? दिख ही नहीं रहा। गाइस कम फास्ट।
बचा लो, अंधेरा छा रहा है। मेरे आंखों के सामने अंधेरा छा रहा है।
पड़ रही है, मुझे पड़ रही है यार, पीछे से पड़ रही है।
आगे खतरा है।
Reezo, you are the only last hope. You are the only last hope.
पर मैं मरूंगा कुत्ते की मौत।
Top 6 होगा मतलब।
अरे यार रिलोड पे चले गए।
नहीं दिख गया था मेरे को, किल आ गया था इसलिए मैंने
बड़ी खुशी हुई मेरे को।
मैं छोड़ दी थी। अरे भी भाई मैं बचाने के चक्कर में नॉक हुआ था यार, मेरे को नहीं पता था।
बचाने के चक्कर में भाई कम से कम ना नॉक के पहले 3 से 4 बार कॉल दे दिया था, सेंटर खाली है आ जाओ।
मैं दूर था, पास में मैं था ही नहीं, जैसे आपने बोला ना सेंटर खाली में आया, जैसे
दूर नहीं होता है।
अरे यार मेरे को तो यार कुछ भी दिखा नहीं, मेरे बगल में दो जने थे, आप दूर थे बस। नो
यार डबल रिकॉल मिलता। ओए बंदे हैं 6। अरे एल लग गए।
बिना बात के लग गए। कितना गंदा है। कोई आया है या कोई उड़ रहा है, क्या कर रहा है? 158 मीटर दूर पे हमारे है लेफ्ट में। अरे यार बता, किल भी नहीं चुरा पाया मैं।
भाई
नेड आया
नेड आ गया।
ये खतरा है।
तुम्हें फिनिश ही कर दिया, बताओ। तुम्हारे पास कार्ड था ना?
रीजो यार किसी को नहीं बचा है।
हाँ, अरे उसका पर्पस यही था नॉक करके डायरेक्ट फिनिश।
वो सांस ही नहीं लेने दिया भाई मेरे को, सीधे ले लिया।
अरे यार रिलोड बच गई यार।
मार बहन के लौड़े को। अंदर कूदा है, अंदर 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 अंदर।
Awesome.
तो डबल ले।
अरे मार दिया मैंने, नो वेस्ट करना।
कूदा नहीं अंदर क्या? गया तो गया था।
कहीं आ रहे हो तो है सेफ जगह
हैं?
क्या?
वो मर कैसे गया फिर?
ठीक है ना?
4 हैं पूरे
आगे रहे हो।
हमारे 5 हो गए। क्या है यार?
दो बंदे हैं वहीं तो।
बहुत हो गए।
बोर्ड है क्या? सच में बोर्ड नहीं, अगर बोर्ड नहीं हुए ना फील्डिंग से हटा करता हूँ।
फिर तो वो वही करेगा, नॉक हो गया कैसे भी तो मरते मरते मार के जाएगा
यार। तो जाना पड़ेगा मेरे को जल्दी से। अरे पति भाई गाड़ी में चलते हैं, रश करते हैं यार। हेलो मिस्टर प्रतीक जी क्या आप हमारी आवाज़ सुन पा रहे हैं? हिंदी में बात करने के लिए 2 दवा है।
Marked a location.
अगर हमसे ना बात करनी है तो अपना गला दवा है। बैठो बैठो बैठो।
नहीं
बैठो भाई।
M4 नहीं पड़ी है कहीं।
M4 पड़ी है।
M4 में चला दूंगा M4।
सुन ऐसे खेलना है तो पहले ही बोल दिया था मैं नहीं खेलूंगा।
अरे अब ये
तुम्हें तो
आज
पढ़ने
तो
की पड़ रही है।
शादी है यार घर में यार।
तो मैंने पहले ही बोल दिया था
3
मैं नहीं
बंदे
खेलूंगा
यार
ऐसे।
सॉरी यार, इसको गुस्सा मत हो यार।
मैं तो हो गया।
मैं एक परी कहते हैं।
परा
बदबूदार परा। बंदा है, यही है।
बड़ी जल्दी सूंघ लिया यार।
लेफ्ट में भी। अरे क्या यार, सूंघते ही मार दे रहा है। ले
स्क्वाड है यार उसमें। हिल भी गई ये बंदी।
1 HP अंदर वाला।
अंग्रेजी दारू। ओफो कशिश का एलिमेंटर लग गया भाई। किल ला रहे हैं कशिश जी।
3 किल में एलिमिनेटर लग जाते हैं।
इस एलिमिनेटर को मार दिया लेकिन
ये लैपटॉप तो ही ग्रेड है शायद। अरे प्रतीक भाई की ग्रेड है भाई, क्या कर रहे हैं? कैसे जाए? अरे सॉरी कैसे लूटो आप लूटो अपनी ग्रेड है।
सॉरी नहीं देगा नहीं।
अरे लूटो मैं
उसमें है क्या लूटना।
देखो ये उठाओ।
अरे मेरे से ले लेना कुछ चाहिए तो।
ये भी उठाओ। अरे हाँ अरे बाप रे भाई साहब सेक्स हो गया।
कोई उतरा।
लो रैप्टर भाई 3 कॉइन है मेरे पे।
पूंगी ना और पता है तेरे को आगे क्या करना है।
लो M4 इसमें पड़ी है।
अरे मजाक कर रहा हूँ यार।
Marked an enemy's death crate.
हाँ उस बंदे पे है जो मारा था मैंने।
मेरी ब्राइटनेस स्लो हो गई अचानक। क्या बकवास है यार।
अभी नहीं करना था ये। इसकी तुम आने की बात बताती। बैठे विदाउट एनी एफर्ट। भाई तुमने भी अरे सब्र करो यार। तो रेस्ट ले रहे तो लौंडे हो रहे हैं।
नहीं हो पाता ना भाई। हाँ बैठो वो प्लेयर लूटते हैं चल के। भाई होंगे बदला लेने आए होंगे।
कौन है?
सामने है।
राइट में है कोई।
मिलेगा बोट भी नहीं मुझे आज।
बोट दे दो भैया से बोट।
बोट जी बोट भाई पानी में चलो।
चलो पानी में चलो। देखो तो एस एलिमिनेटर। चलो मजदूरों तेजी हाथ बढ़ाओ। सामने फाइट हो रही है। चलो। अरे यार ले एग्जिट कर दिया और फोन पटक के घूम रहा। आगे फाइट हो रही है। आओ थोड़ा सा। एक था सामने पता नहीं कहाँ गया सामने से। हाय कोई स्पॉटिंग नहीं कुछ नहीं बस तो भर दे। कोई फायदा ही नहीं। अच्छा सामने आजा। कहाँ लंदन से मार रहा मैं उसका टगा। इंजेक्शन मार दो।
नहीं है। अब तो हो गया। अब छोड़ो
तो हो गया।
आप प्लेयर को मार दिया।
कहीं से दूर से ले रहा था। टप देखा।
चलो यार मेरे को गन रीलोड भी करना होता है।
चले ओपन में घूमो। आप नहीं फायर चला रहा।
चलो
यार
इन्हीं बिल्डिंग में है जो सामने में है। नहीं तो नहीं है। अचानक हमें उतार दिया गाड़ी से तो कहाँ गए? भाई वो कैंप कर लिए। रिकॉल करना होगा उनको अपने साथी को। ये रहा।
बढ़िया काम किया।
एक नंबर काम किया।
और किसी को गाली आ रही है तो प्लीज मनमी देना। आई नो भाई, गाली देने वाला सीन है। ये बोला तो
क्या करें, देखें ब्रिज तक वहाँ होता है, बोट यार्ड तक देख लें। भाई बोल ही नहीं रहा, इतना नाराज है इस टाइम पे। ये मेरी वॉइस नहीं जा रही, किसी को मेरी वॉइस नहीं आ रही?
आ रही क्या?
देखा तुम्हारी वॉइस अटक रही है।
भाई तुम गाड़ी नहीं चला रहे थे, एक ही गाड़ी है पूरे गेम में, ये उठाओ ना बस, बूस्टर पे चलाओ तुम लोग। आया वाली लेते हैं। मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है जॉर्जो भी है बंदे।
क्या यार सूजल यार,
क्या हो गया बड़े भाई? छोटे छोटे भाई, बड़े भैया क्या हो गया?
तेरे घर पे आके
मतलब आप कशिश के साथ खेल के बोर हो रहे हो?
चाय पियोगे तुम्हारी?
चाय पियोगे फिर? ठीक है,
तुम चाय पियोगे?
चाय पियोगे?
तुम चाय पियोगे?
तुम चाय पियोगे?
तुम चाय पियोगे?
तुम चाय पियोगे?
हाँ मैं पियूंगा।
अरे माय गॉड, फोन आ गया कान में से।
बनाओ फिर पिलाओ। आज वो लेने जा रहा था मैं।
क्या? ले आओ ले आओ ले आओ ले आओ ले आओ ले आओ।
पूरी बॉडी पे।
हाँ ठीक है, बना दूंगा। काजू बादाम भी ले आना, बादाम रखे, काजू ले आना।
कहाँ मजा आ रहा है यार ये लोग।
भाई मेरा दोस्त सूट खाएगा।
इवेंट पे ले ले, इवेंट बन जाओ।
कोई नहीं है कहीं भी, सब चले गए भाई, एग्जिट कर गए सब गेम, तुम लोगों के डर से।
एग्जिट करो, एग्जिट
एग्जिट
एग्जिट। अरे वो एक लौंडा था इसलिए तो मतलब वो जहाँ आ रहा उसके साथ बंदे वहाँ आ रहे, जब वो वहाँ जाता वही बंदे मिलते।
अरे उसके पास में वो होगा ESP।
गाड़ी लाओ ना राइड में।
इतना घटिया जोन कटा है ना भाई, इसके लिए थोड़ी है ये जोन। भाई मैं पूरा घूम के आया हूँ, इवेंट से लेके पीछे का एरिया पूरा।
आगे खतरा है।
ऊपर वाले
बाट बच रहे, बाट, सिर्फ बाट।
तो भाई घर से भी कॉल आ गए हैं कि तैयार हो जाओ बेटा, जाओ। अरे काम आ रहे हैं यार ये लोग यार।
बुआ की शादी में कौन जाता है यार?
क्या हुई क्या?
बुआ के घर की शादी में कौन जाता है?
बुआ की घर की शादी में? अरे ये कैसी बात कर रहे हो, हमारी फैमिली ये वो है, हम साथ साथ हैं, ठीक है, ऐसी बात मत करना।
Excellent work.
घूमते जाओ घूमते जाओ।
मैं फैमिली फोटो भेजूंगा हमारी ये फैमिली
नहीं भाई, मैं तो कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है। बुआ से बोलना कि ट्रेन करा लें। अरे एक बंदा है,
एक तो ऊपर लव मैरिज है यार। अरे 2 बंदे थे गायब हो गए।
लव मैरिज है भैया।
प्रेम प्रसंग।
ऊपर 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 ले 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 ले
लियो 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 लियो। चलो 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 ऊपर 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 मारो।
कुचल आए।
ये वो चारों तरफ मार दिया। ये इसमें मेरी गलती नहीं है यार भैया।
मेरे को जाना था तो ऐसे बोल देता कि भैया वो मेरे को जाना है, रेडी होना है।
सॉरी। हाँ भाई।
भाई अब ऊपर से 2 फायर आ रहे हैं तो आगे बंदे और होंगे ना।
मेरे बड़वा क्या चला रहा हूँ। ठीक है। ज़्यादा गेम खराब है बहन। अमीन हो गए। अरे माँ का भैंस। Oh yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a compound standoff right now as Team Flash 7 desperately wants to see them hold a compound, hold it down, but they'll have to do it against Alter Ego right now. And APG holding their south side as well. Krafton on the outside here, looking to vault around, get the off angle. Tops is off in the distance, actually, on the hillside, so could prove to be an important third-party third angle. Vampire having rounds sent their way one after the other. Ida connects, but he's backed off the angle. This should be resable for Vampire. I think they're going to be able to maintain, but both of these two teams going to have to move, as everybody is still crunching south.
Yeah,
Thunder Talk.
Ida's going straight back in. Thunder Talk, yeah, they made this ramp, right? It was a weird ramp that they made down towards the southeast side. E-Arena looking over towards Alpha Gaming, who were sent away from this position, playing a little bit split there. But if they can regroup, I'm not too angry about it. I'm honestly not too angry about it. They got themselves a little bit of early warning signs from teams starting to make their way in. They are very central as well, John. Very, very central indeed.
E-Arena went very quickly through the middle of all of that from the northern side, and APG back off. They don't want to keep that fight going. So another team joins Ferry Pier with DRX on that west side. He's really, really front to back on that little settlement there. And actually the fact that only Ulf has lost a player in Ferry Pier right now is pretty nuts. It is pretty nuts that only one team has lost a player in that spot. DRX also playing as 4. So we have 4 4-player teams, 1 3-player team.
अरे भाई साहब क्या बात सारी की सारी टीमें अभी जिंदा हैं कब कमबैक करना चाह रहे हैं
where the circle probably will go. Looks to claim a position nice and early, it absolutely does, and that's where that Ulf elimination came from. Sighting up over towards the island. Sits between Sosnovka and Ferry Pier. Playable. Definitely playable. For how long is the true question of it all. Will give himself a loot crate, which is hilarious that that drops there. For Thunder Talk, they'll take it. They'll take it. They'll pull the tops on this one.
Okay, all right, yeah. Well, they are already down a player, so they do need all the help they can get. D plus Kia, they are moving in from the north side and potentially looking to challenge Mad Balls, but they don't need to go that far just yet. DRX should be aware of Thunder Talk maneuvering around on this south side. It's actually not too many teams that are going to be within render distance of Sighting's position. There are... Okay, no, it should be most of the teams in Ferry Pier. Maybe just about. Maybe not APG, but it's going to be a limited amount of impact.
Okay.
Hard east shift. Regnum Kaya slap bang in the middle on the east side of Ferry Pier.
Yeah, this is big news for Regnum Kaya. They're going to love this one. It's going to give them a massive opportunity for a big win off the back of this game, but they've got to hold out. They've got to hold on. They have a fairly good compound to do it from as well. Great shots from Reezo. Again, you are going to see this regularly over here at the pMGC Grand Finals. Players are getting so good these days. Players are getting insanely good when it comes to those long-range shots, especially just with the assault rifles as well. Very surprising to see, but they're happening more and more often now.
Ooh, Team Flash on the north side are winning their fight with Alter Ego, busting them down to 2. Haven't lost a player yet, but that could all change. And D plus Kia in the meantime, by the way, off in the distance. Nice little pickups coming on through. 4 Team Flash go moving out in dribs and drabs across the open grounds here. Vampire making their crash in the meantime. Again, looking to join in on Ferry Pier as another team getting into the mix. Oh, the needle threaded there. That should be resable as soon as the smokes bloom, but Miaula needs to be careful, needs to be a little bit tentative.
Come on, guys.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
come on. That's a little bit of communication is all we're asking for. Not much more than that.
Okay. Looking towards the circle, though. Blank Thunder Talk have made landfall on that south side.
Yeah. Thunder Talk has probably the weirdest playstyle I've ever seen out of a single team. Their ability to go from tactical, aware, methodical, to chaotic, and just pushing teams like crazy. It doesn't make sense to me, but I love that they can just flip that switch on a dime during the game. It's really great to see. Not a lot of teams are able to shift gears like that quite as easily as Thunder Talk are. Gives them a real advantage when it comes to those moments where they absolutely have to change that play style in the moment.
Absolutely. D plus Kia, I mean, they've been able to patch themselves up, but will fully lose 1 now in their engagement, their standoff with Team Flash. Alter Ego obviously losing half of their players, but getting down all the way to the south to one of the piers, one of the outcrops there. Alpha 7 on the northwestern side right now. We're going to try and push on through. looks like, yeah, Arena and Vampire are going back and forth, but it's not going to be a happy situation for Vampire. They may still be able to get that res. Back on, though, with Alpha 7. They have R8 to their south and 3 players from D+ to their northeast. We'll see who's going to go for that crash, or if they're going to try and divert R8 and disengaging. They're going into the west side of Ferry Pier. In the meantime, everything's popping off on that northern side, or it certainly should be, as the south end actually finds Alter Ego coming a cropper.
Alter Ego down, yeah, very surprising. But again, we're getting to that stage of the game now, into stage 5, where this circle can't really hold that many teams anymore. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. For the time being, there is still compounds available, but as we crunch in, teams are going to start falling like dominoes into the future. Chips here, CQC for D+, but it's looking bad. It's looking very bad for D+ and their prospects.
Looking to get toasted here. Alpha 7 rolling in as well, just over the ridgeline. Revo looking to heal. Mad Bulls, I mean, we've seen what they can do in close quarters. And Pusher, Tulika handling their business, moving up, playing now 2 versus 1 on the angle. Alpha 7 not with a backup on the angle just yet. Carrillo maybe looking for it. And a good nade from Revo does bring things back into control a little bit more. These are the only 2 players for the Mad Bulls on the angle. And Carrillo has found another. Last player to stand for Alpha 7, but the Flash are here. They've flexed out from the northeast side. They've dealt with a majority of the damage towards Alter Ego, a lot towards the rest of them, and they want to sweep through the rest of this fight. There are not too many remnants left to sweep under the rug.
I mean, Flash gets a little bit out of this one, but they've already got 6 elims.
Oh no.
So they're kind of quite crazy with this one. Alpha 7, Carrillo steps out, but as he walks back in, takes a bit of a tag. Wounded now is Alpha 7. Carrillo, that nade should do the trick when it pops, but not even required, as Bose will finish the job with the DBS in hand. For the Flash, at this stage of the game, you know, it's still not too late. But playing in front of a crowd like this, it is nerve-wracking. Especially for a fresh team like this going through to PMGC. It is so, so different. They had nerves cold as steel over in the gauntlet, over in the group stages. But here, it's a very different story.
They do still now have a 4v4. They've managed to win some of the fights, and Bose lands first knock on the off angle as well, stepping up on the side of that tank there. And Ida's not really super resable right now. We'll crawl down and let Amori pick him back up. But in the meantime, Flash need to take initiative. They need to push forwards and use the time that's been allowed to them to look for the pressure on the back line. As soon as that res comes through, R8 start to re-establish. That will start to happen now, and Team Flash not really getting too much done. CS, though, moving into this angle, I think that might be the saving grace for them. Look at what he's been able to find. Prestige may be unaware.
His nades are coming through fast from the Flash. And the only way I can see this happening is because they've got so many to work with. Zeus finally finds a little bit of value off the back of that. He does spot Amori straight away. It's a great nade over towards Ida. Very low now. But Zeus has got a lot to deal with in front of him. Team not quite seeing these angles just yet, but Ida's low, Marth's low. Ida just gets the first aid kit off, so he's back into the fight.
DXavier with a third-party knockover towards Team Flash. Slow their roll a lot here. But the holdout going to try his best, but it's not going to happen. Amori now rampaging over and on through. Marth with the side angles, and Levi's really, really ruined their day. Team Flash, I mean, they had a really good go at it, but with 2 players now, facing down R8 is a fearful prospect.
DRX, in the meantime, getting some great nades and great damage over towards APG. It's the only players they've got left remaining on side soon. The fact that DRX is able to make that push is a little bit surprising. I think that APG was quite split for a little while. So APG down to 2. Yeah, really unideal.
Team Flash still with 2 players here in those nades go forwards. First knock over to Marth, flushed, taken on for the rematch though. Will go for 1 and 1 again. They lose Marth, but blank. They do stay alive as 3. They win, they get rid of Team Flash on that north side. A decent showing, though, from Team Flash. I don't think that you can say that that was a bad game from them. They held that compound on the northeast side. They got 8 points out of this match. It's much better.
Yeah, I think it's nerves. I genuinely think it's nerves right now for the Flash. That's where they're struggling. But getting 8 limbs there, that's probably bearing a lot of confidence for them, in my opinion. So they'll probably play better going in towards our next couple matches, but we're on a whole different map. So maybe back to square one. We'll wait and see, though. Hopefully that's not the case. Thunder Talk staying alive towards the pier, I think is probably one of the more surprising things of the game. Interesting rotates from this squad are not to be underestimated.
I hope they get late into this game, so we get the rotation graphic that highlights what they did this match.
Yeah, it was cool.
That
very,
would
very cool.
That'd be very interesting. Might not, though, if they're going to get picked off like that. DRX taking shots out towards AJ. Yeah, not going to be getting away with that. So it is just Sighting and King. I think Sighting's under pressure from Regnum Kaya, so that is a difficult move north. I don't think they're getting through this one. Bit of a blockade in the way. Kara coming up against their own blockade. It's DXavier in some buildings. They are very used to this today. They've been practiced. Old hands, but Kara seemingly finding that opener. Marso backing off the wall very, very quickly, though. I bet he wish he hadn't. I bet he wish he'd stayed tucked on in.
That's a parachute nade for you right there.
Running on out. Oh, and there's R8 chiming in as well. Lewis goes down to that off angle. DXavier not really too phased at all by Kara's runner.
Not at all. Lovely nade off the back of the stair window as well. Bounced out towards Marso, immediately took him down.
Oh.
CEO will nade Marso out. So, no points for you, Parachute.
That's one way to do it. That is one way to do it. All right, are still taking these shots on these off angles. CEO got a couple more nades. I think this will be the last one. Looking for the cook, and it's not on target. Mori spots him. CEO goes down. A nice lineup. Brilliant on target spray there.
Yeah, that's a very impressive spray coming through from Mori. Basically, no kick on it as well. Well done. Well done.
Now Disposer moving forwards, and he's down. It's Regnum Kaya to pick up the point. They've been on this east point of Perry Pier for a while after some...
Perry Pier?
Yeah, they picked a peck of pickled peppers too. But they do manage. Okay. Wow. We'll ignore that because Ziol's just landed a double. Oh, he's the last player to go, but he's still going to put up a hell of a fight. Does he have more in the tank, though? QXZ now in on the ground floor. Ziol meeting downstairs, looking for the shots, hopping around the door frame. Doesn't quite connect. And QXZ looking to try and wait for his team, but does he have the time? Arena are going to bear down upon this in the meantime. The reses can come through, but Ziol wants to try and make the most of it. Now you're too late with that nade. Ziol does fall. An APG may be denied even the points on this one. It's another gauntlet APG game.
Good stuff there from DRX. And again, DRX is a strong squad. Initial fight over towards APG was great. It was a little bit split for my liking, personally, over towards APG. I think they needed to give some ground a little bit quicker there, because DRX basically just flew in from the western side, picked up first knock, and that was it. Thunder Talk get King and Sighting into the mix here. Regnum Kaya still going strong on this east side, but it's their cross, right? It's their entry point to the circle that is a little bit hard to work with.
Get caught on the cross, losing one. DRX now up to 5 elims on the southwest side. Regnum Kaya moving in from that east point, going to have to condense a little bit more. I mean, it is all about R8 transitioning. It's all about DXavier transitioning down south. Who's going to be in the lead when it comes down to it, right? Because there's a lot of this circle that is just outside Ferry Pier.
For Regnum Kaya, they make a good play here, though. They get up to the next edge, but if I'm Regnum Kaya, I have no idea Thunder Talk's here, by the way. I have no idea.
I don't think they do. I think you're completely right about that. R8 do go down as they try to make it up to the roadside. And they just they have absolutely no idea. For Regnum Kaya, there is no way that they could know. This is totally reasonable to not be aware of this spot. As soon as
the jump.
Okay, as soon as the pin. Wait, Zedwolf spots it. Okay, they know. He goes down, but they have got the info now. They know that there's threats in the sidelines, and this should be a bowl. Just pour those bullets on down, but the nade is there, the answer. King goes, Sighting now, steps up, goes for Loxy. Silas and Wild now need to hold their nerve. No third parties yet. DXavier have moved in the meantime, but I don't think they're looking at a third party. Not for the time being. They had a knock on side. Sighting goes low to another nade. Regnum Kaya now with 2 players. Will they go down to the wildest off angle we've ever seen here? Sighting looks for the push. The res is starting to come on through. He steps in. The smoke has blown. Silas with the challenge, and he holds his nerve. Regnum Kaya need to put themselves back together because they are cracking.
That's a gorgeous smoke from Silas. But more than that, Zedwolf. I love that guy. I love that guy.
Oh, what a guy.
Who checks that? Who checks that other than Zedwolf? Oh my God. Like I said, they had no idea. They had no reason to have any idea. But the fact that he checks that really shows that he is playing at a PMGC level. Anywhere there could be a player, I'm checking it regardless of whether it seems so silly or it seems so insane, which it absolutely is to check that angle. But he does it anyway. So very, very well done. Yes, he gets knocked off the back of it, but the information he provides is life-saving.
Brilliant, brilliant stuff for Regnum to be able to check that. Now up to 3 elims, adding those 2 to their tally. DXavian not quite able to push all the way across is brilliant for them. They can flex out to that east side, start to establish lines up towards the north. They're going to need in this next zone. We're into stage 8. You thought it might close down a little bit earlier, Blank. I think you might be wrong, given the Ferry Pier situation right now. Ulf very much on the ropes. The nades still finding their way into the ground floor of the Wizard Tower, but not quite getting the full job done. They're going to have to do the rest, maybe a little bit more up close and personal. Flash over to Scarface. It's found, it's traded. DXavian, DRX rather, lose 1, lose 2 maybe.
Yeah, for DRX getting up off this coast, hard. Very, very difficult. Eventually, he's going to have to stop. Great 1-2 punch there coming through from Ketch. Instantly on target.
DRX eliminated.
What a lovely little step up there from Ketch. Last player to survive. Tower defense right now. And to be honest, if one of these 2 teams on the east side doesn't go down, Ketch has a fairly decent crack of getting in towards second place here.
Yeah, it's a real question of how many balloons he can pop before he does go down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very difficult to play the center of this circle, John. Regnum Kaya, though, I think their biggest task at the moment is DXavian. How much utility they have remaining, because they had to waste a lot over towards Thunder Talk, which is quite frustrating for them. 2 players in a vehicle that is smoking. This is a dangerous maneuver, but getting over towards the Wizard Tower, okay.
The arena might try and challenge it. DXavian, remember, they still have angles. That smoke to Zedwolf's right-hand side right now is so important. It's on the clock, though. Evades the damage from the nade coming on in. And actually, DXavian take a knock from Turney K. Arena helping out this approach coming through from Regnum Kaya. DXavian now with a little bit of trouble. Wild spraying pretty wildly, but does connect a shot or 2. Ketch is still there on the ground floor as a nade finds its way on through. Everybody now looking to try keep the territory they've earned, because this zone is going dead center. Ketch now on the ground floor, looking to just try and last this one out. Silas not connected with an 8. Zedwolf is, though, with a spray over towards DXavian, and they hop out. But immediately it's Ketch!
No.
Oh, Ketch, no! You can't do it to him, not like that! Zedwolf falls too, and a nightmare lineup. Ketch with the catch out.
The 2 turkeys take themselves out of action.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a nightmare. It really is a nightmare. Natey takes a nasty nade to the back of the head, but E-Arena looks to keep pushing right now, but it's looking too little too late as DXavian, they step it up once again. The heat is in the arena for the Spiders.
Hey, they didn't get the circle fully blessing them this time, but they are able to pull through. A second chicken dinner for DXavian today. A great result for them. Real tough times for Regnum Kaya, though, during that match. Thunder Talk and Ketch, both proving to be a little bit too much. The full force they can handle. It's those sneaky little solos, those duos, a little bit too hard of a hurdle.
Yeah, this Vietnamese team has been in a lot of very, very big tournaments, and they are great at controlling area. They always have been, always will be, but it feels like they're really thriving under the pressure here at PMGC. I think it's always great starting on that chicken dinner because it gives you a huge amount of momentum to just keep going. And look at how happy these guys are just about that win. Fantastic.
Brilliant, as they should be. A nicely controlled game there coming through from DXavian. For Regnum Kaya, I mean, they still got... decently into that match. I think it was fairly low on the elims though, Blank. I don't think they were able to get too many. Not great from them. But Xavier, very happy to finally prove that they can go all the way when they don't get the blessing.
And here we go, the second chicken dinner for Xavier, man. These guys have just been so dang consistent, Max.
Well, the Dingoes, they're looking great here. Second chicken dinner. They get one on Rondo. They do it here on Arango on the last one. Very happy about it, but you know what, Seven? I feel like looking at these games, we look at the late game and like, how the hell is Xavier like one of the strongest positions? They do it every time.
I mean, the rotation from this squad has been so wonderful. Something that has been impressive for DX is the way that they are able to defend compounds whenever they actually get there. And this is something that you and I were kind of pulling our hairs at some point, Max, because what happened between DX and Kara?
Not good things. Unfortunately, I have to be brutally honest. I love the play initially from Kara, which is you smoke out all of the windows of Xavier, which makes it easier for you to push up, but they send it and then they don't go in the building, Seven? Why?
Well, one thing that we got to call out for Kara, though, that we actually didn't notice is they waited a little bit longer because they knew that DX was going to be sending out those nades.
True.
First nades come through, and then they just don't fully send it. Kara, you got to make sure you end up sending it inside the building. You can't put yourself there in defense for the position to just get naded out.
Yeah, exactly. I think Xavier were like, you're going there? Like, that's weird position. Okay, 2 nades, bonk, squad wipe, easy. So, like, Kara, no matter what your game plan is, fully commit to it. I feel like you crash into buildings. You know what? Maybe this is a Kara win, but they fumble it.
Yeah, and if they would have made that push, right, it would have been a 4 versus 3 situation, right? But that little lack of commitment really cost them there, right? But you know what? It's so crazy to just watch some of these individual plays as well, right?
Yes.
We gotta talk about Catch 7.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to end up seeing it on the highlights here. This man was able, I got to go back and see how many actual eliminations he was able to secure for his squad. Because not only was he able to eliminate some players there from DRX when DRX was having to go through everything, which we'll get a chance to talk about it in a minute, but on top of that, guess what? He ends up eliminating, I think it was maybe 2 more players from Regnum Caria whenever they were just jumping out of the building. He's like, oh, Silas, hi there.
Can't stop me. Maybe today we'll fight our best. Show it away if you can handle it. You follow me. For you.
Seemed like they were going to get 2 other players eliminated because it was, what, 2 players? Was it Hot Jukes from Thunder Talk just surprising them?
Yeah. It's crazy. It was crazy. And what was also wild was seeing so many teams go out early in the top. But let's take a look at the match rankings. Xavier, another 17 points.
They love placement points. They love the placement points, Xavier. But you know what? I'm going to talk about another team that loves placement points. That's the Arena. No, I'm actually really happy with the way they entered into the circle. They were a team that was involved in Ferry Pay, but on the northern side, meaning you can third party, but because you're not in the deep, deep center of the city itself, you're not fully directly involved, and you can just take a few shots here and there, so they can leave the city, but then you go into the Xavier meat grinder, and that meat grinder was quite deadly, Seven, at the end of that match.
It really was. I was hoping that we would get a better performance out of some of the other squads that we were talking about earlier in regards to the bottom 5. D+, I mean, ends up with just 1 point. They end up in Longwood and just getting attacked from everybody, and we gotta give props to the mayhem that was happening in Longwood between a lot of the teams. And before I even go into that, Perigin, congratulations on the MVP. Woo! But going back to Longwood, there was just so many teams going for that fight. We saw Alpha 7 being able to third party a fight there between D+ and some of the other squads, and then an aggressive team that I was happy to see, R8. R8 decides to push the action, and then they get put back on their heels because it was none other than Team Flash going after them. But we'll continue on because guess what? We have a new first place team, and it's none other than DX.
Holy Xavier, let's go from Vietnam. Not only that, sure, they got 2 chicken dinners. 29 placement points over the course of 4 matches is ludicrous. These guys are on fire.
Unbelievable. More placement points than 6th place combined total points, right?
Okay.
That is unbelievable consistency. That is it for Erangel, though, right? We're gonna go into Miramar next, okay, guys? We talked about it at the start of the show, all right? A possible big hot drop situation, all right? Break it down. What do you guys feel about it?
You gotta tell me which teams. Oh, you're talking about Rangnum versus Vampire. There you go, Hot Jukes. Before we go into that one, top 4 players, no surprise, both from Team Flash, as I was mentioning earlier, and then Amori once again.
New star from Mina?
Yeah.
Yes.
You had Ida, Marth, and now Amori added to the list. And Cage actually ended up with 4 Ilums.
You know what? I want to say, as in retrospective, looking at the entirety of 2024, it's been 2025, not 2025. Yeah, behind. It's been really the rise of so many good, strong individual players, right? This feels like the true new gen of PUBG Mobile Esports, which gets me very, very excited for things going on. But yeah, and also QXZ, right? Talking about Hyunbin, you already said,
yes.
Right, 7. Here, QXZ. Actually, I love that fight versus Yol.
Yes.
He fights Yol in that 1v1, but he doesn't commit so hard to the point where even if Yol gets that elimination, he's going to go confirm the rest of the team. He buys just enough time to get the full reset. I love when players are just knowing, I want to fight him, I need to play slow, so I give my team a better chance to survive and make it later on in the game.
The tactical play, not even if he was just waiting for his team to get the full reset, just the tactical awareness for him to know that Seoul more than likely was
तुम्हारा झाड़ू दोस्त आएगा